The reason there are bans of Saracens on both sides is just because those bans are hidden bans. So when they ban them, they don't know what their opponent has banned until after the ban stage completes. So in this case, both players really felt like the Saracens were dangerous. Hope that answers your question. Get your predictions in chat now so YouTube knows you're amazing, guys. And let's go. Here we are. So Empire Wars obviously off to a very fast start here. This is a best of 7, not a best of 5. So let me just quickly fix that. And we're going to call this a decider because the winner here makes it to Spain. The winner gets the flight to Spain. Gets to play in the main event of Red Bull El Renato. An Empire Wars event, of course. Lots of money on the line there. And these two have put in a lot of work and time to get to this position here. We've got Yo in the blue for this series. We've got ACCM in the red for this series. On this map, you cannot farm on the sandy terrain where the bodies are. It's just like the extra sandy sand, right? So food income becomes quite awkward. You have to farm around your mill instead. And there is some hunt through the middle usually. I think this is a bugged version, actually. But no one ever takes the hunt in the middle anyways. So I don't think this is going to be called back. Maybe I'm crazy, but I could have sworn there was hunt towards the middle. We got Persians for ACCM. He's going to open double range here. And we got Yo going Ethiopians, and he's just got one range so far. I really think Ethiopians is a solid pick here because you don't... excuse me. Like, any civilization that relies on a good food eco struggles a little bit more on this map. Ethiopians are an archer civ, so it's usually just archers every time I see this map. Having said that, we did see a series yesterday where it wasn't just archers, so... seeing as it's going to be an archer where we're going to have skirms from ACCM, I actually really like the build so far. Like, crazy production from him. Unfortunately for him, Yo got the walls down seemingly just in time. He is exposed on the backside yet. So the double range doesn't, like, really pressure just yet. Yo's little sneaky army could actually loop around here, but he doesn't know that. You can tell Yo's putting a lot of his focus on defense right now and is really worried about this pressure. First game in a best of 7. These players know each other very well. And normally are trading games back and forth against each other when they train. So I think Yo's going to have a lot of respect for how good ACCM is. And ACCM coming out firing here, guys. Just crazy production. Kills a villager. And he had like the way Yo opened this is kind of how other players have opened it. You make a little bit of army. You get your walls down and you think about Castle Age. ACCM instead went crazy army, double upgrades. And he's going to be fine defensively here. Should be able to pull an army back to deal with this. But big thing for him is going to be his food eco. And that's going to be the same thing for Yo, of course. I think, like, denying the berry area, which we call the Beria here, I feel like denying that is actually kind of a big deal because that's where players are going to farm. Even the fact that Yo has to, like, wall in areas where farms would be is tough because he's got to place a new mill now. Yo's going to lose another villager here. And Yo's also going to lose his scout in the backside. This has been a really slow start for Yo and a lightning fast start for ACCM here. Keep in mind, his gold is on the front, but he's just been playing with crazy army numbers here. This is rough for Yo. I mean, what Yo's going to try here is he's going to try and mix in scouts, which is great against skirms, right? But there's also, like, a solid mix of archers in here, so I'm not even convinced that 3 scouts would do it. I think you might need 5. Yo did research the armor, though, so that could potentially change things, but this start has been insane from ACCM. So I love how he also recognizes how important this position is, and he's not going to move from it. He's just going to stay here. It's really nice for a player to do this because they can kind of calm their minds. This is what's annoying about this map. This happens, but he's on the way to Castle Age and has time to sort it out. And Yo is not even close to clicking up here. Towered is gold. This map is one of many maps why people ban Saracens, by the way, because you need the market to help you a lot. And Saracen market's just so strong. And here we go. Okay, so Yo needs a good fight here. Things could be fine for him as long as he keeps his archer number alive. and he kills off some of this ACCM army. He will not want ACCM to have a big army come Castle Age in 90 seconds. Again, unfortunately for Yo, I don't think that those scouts are enough here because ACCM has such a good mix of Archer Skirm. And the thing that Yo would really need would be Siege, which of course is in Castle Age, which he's not ready for. Or if not Siege, he would need his own Skirms, which is just going to take time. This is a really good position for ACCM. Yo buys stone. Builds another tower here. Wow, this is like... ACCM is coming out with like the heat that he brought in Game 5 against Doubt yesterday. He was a little shaky at the start of the series against Doubt yesterday. I remember the first 2 games, there were some things that went wrong that I would have considered avoidable for him. But this game has just been the dream start. This is Yo we're talking about. Yo's usually a bit of a slow starter, of course, but like, usually he can figure it out. We'll see if he figures it out here. 2 villagers lost this game. Has had very little army control. He does have 17 archers. And he's Ethiopian, so that would be amazing if in 2 minutes he could upgrade those. But what are you supposed to do to stop ACCM from running into your base here? He can run underneath the TC because there's no villagers around the TC. Yo tries to wall up behind. ACCM sees it. The walls are not down. The scouts go down. Yo's just like, come on, fight me. Fight me. And if ACCM commits... he's then going to try and complete these stone walls. Oh, lead skirm is in. So now you could just leave the skirms on the archers if you want and dive with the crossbows. Again, does ACCM recognize that you can just run underneath the TC? You need to. You can't just... you don't have to go underneath the tower here. You could just go right on by. He does run under some tower fire, but he goes right on by. Yo has no army back here, and Yo's going to build another tower. The only saving grace for Yo is that he still actually kept a lot of his archers alive. I don't know how. But this is smart from ACCM. He runs right on through. Could actually continue to try the same with the skirms if he wants. And Yo is going to trap these skirmishers. And now the tower might be able to kill them. It's still a lot of idle time. ACCM is still back here. ACCM still has a massive eco lead. And the skirmishers are, you know, doing a lot of damage. But... I mean, maybe that's something for Yo. Maybe that's a positive. Only 4 crossbows back here for ACCM. Only 2 skirmishers here. Yo can get his stone walls down. Yo can get his upgrades. So he's not dead, but the quality of life isn't fantastic. You know, this needs to improve here for Yo. And I think ballistics or siege, either one, needs to happen fast. There's the siege workshop now for ACCM, and he's already getting ballistic. So that should just tell you how far ahead he is. Also, he's going to lose these crossbows back here, but he's still going to have 15 more. And Yo wants to build the siege workshop there. I think Yo is just misjudging the situation. I don't think that he feels as though ACCM has this big of a follow-up. And I don't think he was expecting ballistics either, and now he loses 2 more villagers. 8 villagers down here for Yo. If he can get a siege workshop up and go siege crossbow can beat this. He just has to out micro. Just be better. Haha. The gold is all in the front for ACCM. I mean, if things start to go bad for him, this could really get out of hand. But again, siege workshop delayed at least. And that just, the clock is kind of ticking here. I think Yo at this point knows that ballistics is in. He's microing like he's trying to dip away from it. ACCM is kind of microing like he thinks that Yo might have it. Well, now he's not. Yeah, so he knows. A lot of players will try and do like the crazy dancing. And you really don't have to do that if you can sense your opponent doesn't have ballistics. It just makes life easier for you to just do the slight dip from side to side. ACCM with skirm crossbow mix still. Only 4 skirms. But that could still be helpful. And he'll have a second mangonel here in a second. Second TC is up. Farming eco is looking pretty good. Third TC is coming up too. So this actually will reach a point where it's really difficult to afford, as ACCM's micro continues to be perfect here. Really tricky to afford more skirms here in a second, I think. Because you have 3 Persian TCs producing vills. So this is probably just going to be crossbow mangonel, which could be an opportunity here for Yo. But that is a big villager lead. Almost 2,500 resources collected ahead of mr.yo for ACCM. Yo will drop those TCs to kind of maintain the current lead. Maintain his situation, but the only thing I can get excited about really is the tech. And that is good in a war game. If you get to 30 crossbows, 3 mangonels, anything can happen with the Ethiopians. And it's not like Persian skirmishers get much stronger later on either, so... I don't think they're the worst skirmishers in the game to have. I think having the final armor is the most important thing on skirms. Arguably. Some people would prefer Bracer, but I personally prefer the final armor. ACCM probably feels like it's the first game in a big series. He's done nothing but kill here, right? He's done nothing but kill. And so he's probably like, if I just hold this position, I take the first game, and this is huge for me. So he's starting to build outposts. He's trying to find out, like, where is Yo at right now? And, oh my god, I don't even think he was paying attention to that. But neither was Yo. Yo loses 4 crossbows. Yo probably a little distracted by some of the pressure that could be coming in from ACCM. The outpost, you never attack an outpost like that, because that's what happens. Obviously, that building is designed to see you. ACCM in perfect position. So Yo's only 15 villagers behind. It's still winnable, but he would need some good moments with the micro, and ballistics will help. He's 15 seconds away from that. I don't know if ACCM knows that Yo has siege here. Oh, no, he does. He just moments ago, he saw that. Okay, so he should know it's the crossbow army and the mangonel. I love the outposting along the front so there's no surprises. Yo sees the mangonel. Yo loses his mangonel, and ACCM completely out-micros him again. It's crazy, dude. He has been playing amazing here, guys. And listen, I'm as big an ACCM fan as you can get. But I think, like, there was a point, I said this yesterday, where everyone was like, I think ACCM could be top 5. And then you maybe had a year period where, okay, maybe it's not the case. Hidden Cup was the exception. But he is playing amazing. Now, he is going to lose 2 mangonels right as we compliment him. But he's still chasing this army down, which is really the most important thing, I think. And he's going to kill this army. Like, Yo can do nothing to save that army now. I think the big thing that really gives ACCM this game is clearing up the middle now and getting a forward castle. Getting a forward castle on this gold would be huge. But Yo did just kill 2 mangonels, which was a little wasteful there for ACCM. I don't think he was expecting Yo to add the knight. But remember, Yo has had that stable the whole time. Big attack round from ACCM. Again, lands a really nice shot. And it's tough for Yo because he's advancing into the darkness, whereas ACCM has all this vision because of the outpost. And again, another good shot. Really nice engagements for ACCM every single moment of this game. 32 on food. Eco upgrades are well timed. Has wheelbarrow, or just got wheelbarrow. I think that's extra important on this map because you're farming in awkward spaces. Usually you're going to have a mill, sure, but, like, things can get really weird sometimes. Like, some of these farms, wheelbarrow benefits these a lot more than a standard farm. 12 crossbows for Yo. 1 knight. He doesn't have a whole lot else except the siege here. Yo would love a monster shot here, and ACCM's not going to give it to him. The red dot on the sides of the map is a sheep. I can see why you guys are confused about that, but there was sheeps or goats that were in those areas, and ACCM found them super early. Crossbows looping around there from Yo. And again, it feels like Yo's going to try and get some damage, and it's not going to accomplish much. However, ACCM, distracted, loses the mangonel there. He's going to try and attack here. Should be a problem for Yo. He does have siege nearby, though. Meanwhile, ACCM microing down the crossbows from Yo. He's going to drop a castle here. It's a pretty safe castle, but he doesn't have the position to drop a forward one, and Yo's dropping a castle there right now. Yo will defend here. ACCM will defend here. Imp will be imminent. And it should be ACCM that's in the Imperial Age first with a 15 villager lead. Anyone else impressed with how Yo has stayed in this, considering some of the circumstances? The fact that Yo is probably going to make it to Imp this game is pretty impressive. Also, he has been way behind an army. I think Yo, or ACCM maybe, is a little hesitant to push because he doesn't want to throw a lead, which is fair. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, Yo's going to at least give himself a shot here. Monk ends up dropping off the relic last second. He does exactly what he was meant to do right before he dies in the doorway. It's going to be really awkward for the next monk who goes out to leave. They're like, yeah, it's fine. It's a safe job. And then he goes out to leave and there's just like a body right in the doorway. It's like, nobody told me about this guy. Is this the guy I'm replacing? Big shot. Oh man, Yo would love a big shot. Doesn't get it. Nice split micro here from ACCM. Ethiopian outposts have tons of extra vision, so it's good that Yo has this vision, but ACCM out micros him anyways. And Yo might have been doing this already, but he's building a castle in the back. Also, Yo is making enough Showtail Warriors where I think he might actually commit to it, guys. He's going to have 2 castles. He's getting armor. He's getting forging. Does kill a couple crossbows over here. I mean, elite Showtail Warrior is not something you see every day. They're glass cannons, so they kill quickly, but they die quickly as well. I'm not sure I love Showtail Warriors here. The reason I think Showtail Warriors are bad is because Persians have knights, which could beat that. Persians have hand cannons, which can beat that. And there's already lots of ranged units out in the field, which could be decent enough. So I think Showtails would be good if, like, I guess if he had really good if he had much better economy, I wouldn't mind a big Showtail Warrior play. I just don't know if they're worth the investment. Oh my god, ACCM, are you kidding me, bro? What is this? Well, he's not expecting Showtail Warriors. And there's going to be Showtail Warriors here, and they're going to come out, and they will kill all these villagers very quickly. ACCM, I think, looking elsewhere maybe. Losing his vills. He wanted to use this castle to protect his Treb. ACCM, he was not expecting the Showtails. Oh god, and now he's going to lose the Treb. And just like that, the vill count is even, and the Showtails from Yo pay off massively just because of the surprise. Not to mention, this is a castle you now don't have in protection like over here. Like, Yo is using his castles for protection, and Yo, he's still going to have a castle to deal with right here. Because ACCM is going to bring more vills to finish this. But he is going to go for Elite Showtail Warrior. Wow, this is crazy. So we've got ACCM with 6 Cavalier, and he clicks the Savar upgrade. In 2 minutes, he is going to have Savar, which will completely mop up anything Yo does, unless Yo goes for Halbs. I don't think Yo... Well, he is thinking about Halbs. He clicks the Halb upgrade now as he's dropping the barracks. But for now, Yo's going to have to find a way to engage against these Trebs. See, yesterday we had a situation where Doubt went for Savar, funnily enough, against ACCM, and ACCM had like 50 Halbs, and Savar was a waste. It was a very different situation, different map. You know, it's hard to compare the two, but it is expensive. And ACCM didn't research chemistry to mix in some hand cannons, or at the very least, chemistry does affect the crossbowmen too, so we'll see if Savar is worth it here. I think Yo is going to end up trebbing down this castle, meaning the Trebs are exposed. ACCM will try his best to dive for those Trebs in there that Yo has, but Yo blocks it off perfectly. And Yo has just refused to die, and he has turned this into quite a game here. It's crazy, man. So many players would have been so dead. Yo loses his castle, though. Cavalier probably need to back away. 5 seconds till Savar. We have a Shotel raid that will be happening in the back. But Savars have 165 HP. It's 165 HP against 50 HP. And they have close enough to the same attack. ACCM sticking around here. His crossbows, his skirms, helping against the Halbs. That's a good fight for ACCM. He backs away to his castle fire, or his TC fire, rather. Will kill the Shotel warriors here. Adding more stables. Still attacking Yo. Yo is falling apart. The Savars are too strong. The Savars are just too good. They're too strong. And the crossbow army has been super helpful here, right? Actually, it would be amazing to get Commander on here. Get the trash bow tech. And then you could just spam crossbows. And they won't cost gold anymore. I think while it took some time here, ACCM ultimately went for what he felt like his strongest unit. And he was able to do so because of the lead he had earlier. And now Yo crumbles. I think Shotels might have been something that Yo, realizing he was behind, he needed something more. He didn't think he had time for Arbalest, for example. So that might have been why he tried Shotels. Yeah, this crossbow skirm army hasn't gotten value like this in a long time. And the Savars are here in support. ACCM also snagging chemistry now. Again, having spoken to Yo before, he feels like he's warmed up come game 3 or game 4. So he will play longer in this first game. Just to get warmed up a little bit more. And the person he's up against is also known for playing on for a very long time just to get it out of his system. So Yo's obviously still trying everything he can, but he's limited in what he can do, honestly. There's not a lot of positives I can really look for at this point. I mean, maybe the one relic. Maybe a big mango shot. But ACCM's locked in. Sees it. And will just simply run away with the crossbows as he's taking out the TC. Hand cannons are coming out now. That was the unit that Doubt forgot yesterday. Up against Halbs. ACCM in that moment was probably like, why is he not making hand cannons against me? And now ACCM kind of learns the lesson himself. And he's going to go for exactly that. Can you guys remind me? So the Unique Tech Royal Heirs, it used to just make Elite Shotels produce faster. But they changed it. I don't know if it affects production speed now. I think what it does is it affects camels. It gives camels bonus attack versus cav, I think. Or no, it gives camels... It definitely affects camel attack. It's 3 less damage from mounted units to camels and Shotels. Okay, so it would limit some of the attack that the Savar are going to do. I need to make a new useless Unique Tech video. For no particular reason. I guess it was relevant here. But I don't know. I think the base stats of the Savar are still just super strong here. It's really strong versus Cav Archers. Ooh, if it applies versus Cav Archers, that's actually really interesting. And that does make me think, why are you making Shotel Warriors or Ethiopian Camels against Cav Archers? It feels like something went wrong, but I could see some practical applications. Yo at 135 pop, not calling it quits yet. This would be where I'd like to see ACCM tech into Hussar. Because he might actually run out of gold. There's only 3,000 gold remaining on the map. He is the one mining most of it, but everything he's making right now is gold. So you want to, like, in the late game, you need to use whatever gold you have left to get those types of technologies. Hal would be good in a game where you actually needed Hal. He obviously doesn't need that here. Guys, the Shotel Warriors are going to melt villagers way faster than anyone might think. ACCM had 150 villagers a moment ago. He's going down to 130, 120. This raid from Yo is pretty epic. ACCM is going to take this gold, though. He does have Persian TCs. He should be able to just add more vills here in a second. The amount of people... Okay, so did you guys see in a video that Royal Airs helps versus Cav Archers? Or are you guys going Royal Airs against Cav Archers? I need to know, chat. Because the amount of people that were just like, it helps versus Cav Archers too. I feel like it shouldn't be something... I love you guys, right? So we're, you know, I want what's best for you. I feel like this shouldn't be a natural scenario for an actual game. I think it was in a Spirit of the Law video. Okay, got it. I really like show tells. Okay, fair. Fair. That's a Persian TC, so it's going to take a long time to go down. But these are show tell warriors. And they're going to try their best. ACCM did get Commander on, so his crossbows only cost wood at this point. Yo refuses to quit. ACCM's probably like, how have I not killed this guy yet? I think that's pretty cool, though. That's pretty niche knowledge. I'm glad we brought it up. I don't think this is a good fight for ACCM. Like, maybe he won the fight, but considering he didn't have enough ranged units actually engaging there, could have been a little bit better. And Trebuchet here for Yo. Goes down. He has no more Trebs now. He has no more gold. If there was a time to call it, this would be it. And Yo does call it. And what a fun game. I mean, and what a start here for ACCM, guys. ACCM, I think he's the underdog today. When I asked people who would win, most people said Yo. And I tend to agree with that. But I wasn't expecting that level of aggression. That was crazy aggression from him. And then he backed it up all game. Yo took him to Imperial Age with elite show tells and all types of technologies. We didn't think it would get here. And Yo, while he fought, he wasn't able to break ACCM. I loved that opening there for ACCM. That is exciting for us. Again, Yo may be notorious for being a slightly slow starter, but he didn't start off slow against Mihai yesterday. How much of this is just ACCM starting the way he finished off Doubt yesterday? 70,000 resources collected for him. He collected more of every single resource. Will be a long series, but again, winner gets a flight to a castle in Spain, gets to go to the main event of Red Bull El Renato. So this is a big moment for either end. With players so good, it's not just everyone likes to talk about the minimum of $9,000, which would be the case, of course, if you're the worst player in the castle. With these two players, who's talking about being the worst player in that castle at that point, right? And anyone who makes it there is going to have the opportunity to really go deep in that tournament. So I'm excited. All right, so game 2. We got Lithuanians for ACCM, a solid civ. But really, this whole game is dictated by Yo's civilization. And Yo has gone for the humans here. Now, we've seen this many other times already. And Yo has won with the humans, and then we saw a player lose with the humans in Doubt against ACCM. So, ACCM, at least in that game, he felt like he had the tools to counter the humans. And I think the main part of that was he had Hindustanis, which had a really solid late game matchup. And he just felt like he could do no wrong there. Doubt also made 4 archer range cav archers with a civilization that doesn't get bracer. Is it unfair of me to question that after we know how that game went? Maybe. Should I be questioning it now still? Maybe. Yes. So I don't think that Yo is going to go for 4 range cav archers. But also, you know, ACCM now, he's Lithuanians. Could go for the speedy pikeman, which could be a reason to maybe keep Yo off of those step lancers. Whereas I think where Yo's mind is going to be on right now. Only civ to go 2 TCs. That can go 2 TCs in feudal rather. This game mode you start in feudal with eco, so you can just boom away. And typically, when you're playing up against a civ, you need to kill them quickly in Castle Age because that Vil lead is just going to lead to them having such a good eco. You can't do really anything about it. So this is like a really good bounce back civilization, really good bounce back map, in my opinion, for Yo. Considering the distance between the two of them, I think this is also really nice. He's already got the Vil lead. And if ACCM is going to pressure, he's going to have to travel a pretty long way. What's in the middle of the map? Lots of phallus-shaped rocks and cliffs that you cannot pass through. So there's really nothing in the middle. All this map is focusing on the outside. You've got berries everywhere, so you will sometimes see TCs there. I think in an RM game, like a normal game mode, and it's not Empire Wars, I think players are usually trying to get a Vil forward and go for, Knights in Siege or Pikes in Siege. Because of the distance and because of how they can also make it to the Castle Age a pretty significant time, I think players are just going to go 3 TCs to try and counter this. Like, they're not going to try and kill it anymore. That is definitely ACCM's plan here. He's going to drop TC number 2 and TC number 3 right away. That does mean, though, that Yo is going to have full map control to work with. And that this game will probably go late. Which, if you compare the civilizations, I think it's fairly close. I think I'd prefer Lithuanians if it was like Paladin, Halb, Skirm. Oh, wow. Okay, Yo. Yo's warmed up. Yo is warmed up. Beautiful quick wall. But that type of trap is not something I would normally associate with Yo. ACCM goes, you go 2 TC? I go 4 TC. Boom. TC's everywhere. Now, watch the food count, guys. This is maybe the one civilization where you can justify this and really get all your upgrades, too. Watch the food count. Lithuanians, they used to start with 150 food, and that was it. That was their bonus. But they changed the bonus to each TC gives them plus 100 food. So as you build a new TC, you receive another 100 food. Really helps out with the Vil production. And so it's not really too much of an issue for him to queue up more Vils, and then you're going to see more food go up in a second. Oop, there you go. So it's just like a really nice booming boost for a civilization that already has a lot of other strong options. Also, no stable yet. We see a stable now for ACCM, and he's pretty heavy on stone, so I think he's going to want to play through Latus here. Latus is probably the goal. Yo is added a second scout. The human scouts are a little bit faster. It is 0.0... Well, now that changes because he's in Castle Age, so actually I think he'll get a kill now. They just naturally get more speed in each age. Oh, Spearman. Nice shot from Yo to pay attention to that. 52 Vils versus 51. Res collected way higher for Yo, though, just because he's had those villagers for longer. ACCM actually healing his scout on the other side of the house. That is a nice little detail there. And ACCM is not going to want Yo to get relics as he drops another TC. Yo's going to drop a castle way earlier than I expected, actually. And he will drop TC number 3. So we're going to see Yo rely on Kip Check instead of Lancers. And I would like to ask my viewers' opinions on Kip Check. Do you like the unit? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? Thoughts? It could possibly be a controversial topic depending on where you get your information. Too weak of a unit. So poor. Very bad. Kip Check sucks. Okay. All right, I'll just keep that in mind. I think the unit's fantastic, combined with the human boom, right? So if you have the boom right, and if you utilize their timings right, I think it's a really good unit to mix in. I don't know how good it is. It can't be your only unit, but it's a good setup unit in this scenario, I think. There's like so much eco to go around. I think that he's probably going to go Kip Check. I think you play it 2 ways. It's like you either play like Step Lancers and force your opponent into Pikes, and then you go Kip Checks to kill the Pikes. Or you go Kip Checks, forcing your opponent into Skirms, and then you go into Cav. I think if nothing else, having this castle is really nice to secure this area of your base. Considering they're both going to be pressuring in this area, I think whoever gets a castle down here or here on these hills is really going to be in a good position too. But Kip Checks are really cheap, so anytime you see a Kip Check out in the field, you can't compare it to a unit that is like 3 times its cost. I think it's very easy to fall into that trap. It is just a cheap, fast, annoying unit to deal with for the opponent, and that's what you want. Can someone actually tell me the cost of a kip check again? Just remind me to make sure I'm not crazy. I know it's cheap, but I want to like really remind you guys how cheap it is. It's not for food, nukes. Get the crap out of here. 60 wood, 35 gold. There's no way it's 60 wood, 35. Is it 60, 35? I thought it was like 60, 20. 60, 35. Okay, well, maybe it's not as cheap as I thought then. Okay, I thought it was cheaper on gold. I mean, it's still cheap, but it's not like, it's not on sale anymore, you know? It used to be on sale. They must have changed the discount. ACCM is scared of this unit. He is concerned about it. And he's gone for elite skirm in response. Double range from him. And he'll build another TC over here. It seems pretty nice to be able to just drop these TCs on the berries too, because you don't need to go into any farms. He actually didn't farm at all this game, whereas Yo did. I'm more of a farm guy. But maybe I should be more of a berry guy? I don't know. This castle from Yo is interesting. ACCM doesn't know about it. And this would be... Normally, if you see castles in the same part of the screen, it's an imp race. No, don't die to a spearman. You're gonna make my argument look bad. Thank you, Kipjack. I don't think Yo knows about the skirms yet. He may have noticed the castle had fletching before. But that's not that uncommon. It's also going to be ballistics. So ACCM is actually going to try and just kill this whole army. But ballistics is... Man, if he could have waited a little bit longer, then Yo couldn't get away. Again, it's not a lot of units here. Would have been really nice for him to be able to kill all this, though. He still might be able to. He is Lithuanians, actually. Ballistics is in. Should be able to fire here and kill one. And just misses him just because of the scout. And Yo is up. Okay, so kind of back to what I said before, right? Yo is up. He's got a castle. This is going to be about Trebs now. His opponent is now on skirms. So now would be a natural spot for Yo to drop a couple stables, in my opinion. I still think Kipchecks are a good unit to continue to produce with, but I do think that both your castles... Well, maybe the back castle gets conscription, actually, but... It would make a lot of sense to use the forward castle for Trebs here. And it's cheap, it fires faster, gets kills pretty quickly. Yo will be on Trebs faster than ACCM, but ACCM can make bombard cannons with the Lithuanians. ACCM with a 20 villager lead. This is like, if you look at Yo in a tournament series, picking humans is kind of like an expected win for him. I don't know if he sees it that way. I do, though. Like, there's other civs as well. There's certain maps as well. You're just like, okay, well, this is going to be Yo's game. If Yo doesn't get this game, big win for ACCM, and then up 2-0. He will drop a castle on the back here. And resources collected, Yo is actually ahead. So it must just be because the berry approach is less efficient than farms. Yeah, it has to be. I mean, look at that. Can we see worker efficiency? Worker efficiency last minute, 74% versus 84%. But who knows what changed in the last minute. Another castle from Yo. Let's see what he does with Trebs. Does he make a Treb from the back castle? So that's conscription. That's just like, it makes sense. And pretty much has continued with the Kipchecks. Like, he hasn't stopped at all. And we'll be on 2 castles with Treb soon, firing on this castle for ACCM. There's a couple groups of units over here. Both players have built outposts. Both players don't want to give up control there. The Lancer will be killed by a Latus and a Spear. You know, it's just some small engagements that players will have to keep an eye on. If Yo had this castle up right when he hit Imp, this would have changed things. Because he would have had this other Treb out that much faster. But chemistry's on the way for ACCM. He's going to repair this castle. He doesn't have enough Latus or upgrades to ever snipe these Trebs. But he is on the hill. He is repairing, and he's hoping for bombard cannons right now. Three castles for Yo. His fourth castle may need to be on the backside for protection, depending on how he plays this. So he's going to have a decision to make with that. ACCM probably won't have another castle soon because he's so focused on repairing this. Yo only has his 7 forward villagers available for repairs. It's not unheard of for him to bring in more vills for repairs here. And we have tower shields now for ACCM. I mean, these skirms wreck the Kipchaks so hard. It's not even going to be close. It's not even a conversation. But guess what? The skirms can't do. They can't deal with the castles. And that is the biggest problem right now. And behind this, Yo is getting his cav upgrades. He's dropping his stables. So he's going to have an answer to those skirms prepped. And ACCM's castle will fall. Despite all he's put into it, his castle will fall. Now, if Yo's falls, though, then ACCM starts to win these fights pretty massively. And I think Yo's going to lose one of his castles. Yo is going to have to try to use his Trebs against the Trebs from ACCM. But ACCM will have a bombard cannon, too. So risky times for Yo. Not to mention, he is firing uphill. The skirmishers now feeling a little bit more freedom. I honestly, I could see Yo just backing up here. But he doesn't look like he's interested in that. Treb v. Treb for now. Bombard cannon just arrived. Treb goes down for both players. Yo lost one a moment ago. One just went down there for ACCM. The bombard cannon got sniped by a Treb, which has got to be so infuriating for ACCM. He doesn't actually have another bombard cannon on the way yet. Not out of this siege workshop. He does in the back siege workshop. Final armor in for what is light cav now for Yo. And Yo's lost one too many Trebs. He's going to have to back away here. He's going to back away. Treb might go down. Treb survives. Okay, step husbandry's in too. So the light cav spam like 100% faster or something crazy out of these stables now. And Yo's got 60 on food. I think Yo needs to castle one of these stones of gold. Yeah, he's going to do that. So yeah, Yo now, he fights on this side. He secures the other side with a castle. And things get really interesting because we have elite Latis for ACCM. I actually think the Kipchaks deal with those pretty nicely. At least with current upgrades. These are going to be close fights here, guys. Resource-wise, everything is way cheaper for Yo right now. Look how good the Kipchaks do against Latis there. Might be because ACCM's missing that armor. Elite Kipchak's going to be on the way with Parthian, and I think now these Kipchaks are fully upgraded. They still die so quickly. Hussars will dive for that Treb. Yo wants to keep this castle position. He will get that Treb. His castle could still fall, though. ACCM's being bold with his skirms. Why not when you're Lithuanians? But the Hussars are still going to be here. The skirms could still be in a problematic position. It's 190 pop for both. He was going to focus down those Latis as best as he can. The Hussars then need to come in. There's still that Treb firing behind here, which feels good in many ways for ACCM. If he could free up this position, then he won't have Yo all over him anymore. But where, the Latis numbers kind of low. The skirmisher numbers kind of low. Treb numbers for Yo, though, 0. This castle went up. Yo can not see this castle yet from ACCM. We'll see if he spots that in a moment. Yo's castle still up. Last minute repairs coming in, and then last minute Hussars to snipe the Treb. You know me. I'm not a big fan of showing up with just one Treb here, but I do think that it does force an immediate reaction from ACCM. 2 Trebs has some protection, and all new Latis are going to go snipe those. Some crazy engagements right now. And I do think that fighting over this golden stone, while having the other golden stones locked down on the left side, if you're Yo, is really good for you right now. He ends up sniping the Treb, and he ends up holding this position again. Latis went forward before, got picked off. Latis goes forward here. And gets converted. 200 pop for Yo. 40 kip checks, the occasional hussar in front. I want to talk about gold here. So there's 16k gold remaining. Some of that is here right now. Like, this is ACCM's gold. Right underneath this castle. If he loses his castle, he could lose the gold. But his latest are here. Latest should get those trebs if ACCM can pay attention. But over here, he's losing his whole base. And he can't take this gold, which is 3,000 of what's left. He's getting shredded over here. But thankfully, defense on this side. So we've got... Yeah, there's like 4k gold on this area of the screen. There's also this back here, which is another 3k. And then there's this gold. I think those are pretty much the only gold piles long term. I'm sure there are some gold still being taken right now. But ACCM's main eco has been completely overrun. The Kipchek Hussar combination. It is cheap. It is effective. And the timings that play towards Imperial Age, really strong. And I think ACCM might be cooked here. His eco is in shambles. If he produces skirms, there's too many hussars around. I mean, this wood line, there's, what, 40 villagers running into TCs right now? That's really complicated. He's got vills over here that are not getting sniped by Yo. Yo is perfectly protected by castles everywhere you look. The latest just die way too fast to these amazing kip checks. There's a reason I brought it up, guys. I asked you about the kip check because I know Yo and I know my kip check, and the unit, at least combined with everything else, is actually really strong. Well played there from Yo. And like we said, Yo is just a beast with the humans. He's a beast on a map like this. And this was one that he needed. When he looked at the draft, he probably saw this as a victory. And he got that victory. I think for ACCM, like, yeah, okay, latest skirm is really good. Right? But clearly, I don't know if it was too expensive. Maybe that was it. We'd have to compare the cost. Clearly, he struggled a bit with the imp timing. The only thing I can really say for him is that he respected the kip checks, and he made the skirms really early compared to what I would normally expect them. And maybe that delayed his own imp time. Maybe. That's a big maybe, but a lot of this was down to the forward castles and the imp timing. So I wonder if he could have, when he had this protective castle and the right side was walled off, I wonder if he could have maybe tried to make skirms as he was on his way to the Imperial Age. And then maybe he could have been in a position where, yeah, maybe then he would be in a position where he's an imp faster. He takes down these castles, and then kip checks is never really an option for Yo. Another thing would be he didn't farm. That's fair. Didn't farm that much, and maybe that was part of the issue for him. I have yet to see the full-on berry approach work, but it's against the Cumans. The Cumans are going to have the best farming eco in the game on this map just because of how early you farm. So ACCM's going to see it the same. He's going to be like, well, it's against Cumans on that map. We gave it our best shot. Not the end of the world. Also, Relic Gold, hype. Look at that. You don't see that every day. They got the relics at the exact same time, apparently. Sick. So we don't have as much time to break this down, but listen, here's the main thing with the Romans to mention right off the bat. First off, that 5% greater efficiency is maybe the main reason they were picked here by Yo. We may see the odd infantry unit here, but I think it's just the 5% greater overall efficiency is why the Civ is so good. That affects your 29 eco you've got right now, right? He's going to open scouts. The other thing to mention is like how efficient in general taking shorefish is. ACCM's going to lose the scout there. That's not good. He can't see the opening from Yo now. But yeah, that's why players have brought so many villagers here to the shorefish. So I expect a lot of aggression around the shorefish here. ACCM might be opening archers expecting men-at-arms. When he played against Doubt, I think Doubt was Romans. Was Doubt Roman? Yeah, Doubt was Romans. And Doubt opens crazy man-at-arms. So opening archers is still fine. It's not like you're opening it solely to counter man-at-arms, but there's some question, I'm sure. And now there's no question. That was actually an opportunity for the spear to get a hit. But it's clear that this spear is just the new scout. He looks a little different. They don't have a horse left over for him, but Yeah, he'll see what he needs. Sees the stable. Sees the dock. Also, these civilizations don't get demos, which is really fascinating. Are they the only civs that don't get demos? I think they might be. So, this will be a demo-less game, which means just fire galley numbers is key. And Yo's scouts patrolling around. There's way too much action and commotion around the berries, though, for him to really have an opportunity to get much damage in. So he's going to look elsewhere. Elsewhere, ACCM trying to wall up. I don't think ACCM knew that Yo had his skirms out yet when he was here last time. His vision was on the right side, which is an important detail. So skirms should be in a position to defend from this, provided Yo can quick wall properly. And he actually uses a market. He drops a palisade. Yep, he's full walled on this side. Yo does a really nice job. And now his scouts are on the move here, but ACCM also doing a really nice job. Can we talk about the amount of spearmen ACCM's gone for? We'll have to ask my co-caster for the next series about this number. He had 6 spearmen. I guess 2 of them were forward. But I think my co-caster will say that's the perfect amount. We didn't really see many scout numbers, but listen, it's Empire Wars. You just make a lot. Sometimes you just got to make a lot of army and stay safe, you know? You can't like, it depends on the player, right? Obviously MBL is just like crazy about army numbers. You can't be too cute sometimes, especially on the crazy maps. Yeah, if you didn't know MBL is my co-caster for the next series, you might have known after I after I made the comment. So when you tower early like this, you put yourself in a bit of a tough spot if your opponent comes forward to tower you, because you can't counter tower. Sometimes the counter tower is your best defense to a tower rush. And so Yo now is going to build a tower here. Now this boxes ACCM out from the shorefish on this side, meaning ACCM would have to mill over on this side, which is he can do. Koreans get the guard tower upgrade for free in the next stage, so obviously towers with Koreans just fantastic, but ooh, interesting move. So Yo has not been able to track any of ACCM's army. It has been awfully quiet. And it's easy for us to say maybe he should sense that, but he still might be expecting it. He might think the army's around here somewhere. But where the army actually is, this is like classic ACCM. Oh my god, 2015 ACCM. Full walled. Sneak archers. Blast from the past. This is huge. And ACCM's going to kill villager number 2 this game. Villager number 3 this game, very well played. Yo still should be able to avoid losing much more. But now Yo can't actually tower his berry, not his berries, his fish, because he towered on the front too. And ACCM is up? What? That's crazy, guys. ACCM is on the way to Castle Age. So he killed 4 vills. He just got 1 more. He actually escapes with the archers. He's on the way to Castle Age. He's dropping a defensive tower here, which in 1 minute will be a guard tower, meaning it will be the superior tower. I said I wanted to see guard towers, I wanted to see legionaries, and I wanted to see turtle ships this game. I think we might see turtle ships. We're going to see guard towers. That's a guarantee. Archers get killed off. Yo's got so many skirms. That's what delayed his Castle Age time. It's just a lot of food invested into that. Everything else has been fine. This is kind of a funny scenario you would never see if someone could make a demo. Like, Yo would never just sit here like this next to 2 docks if demos could be created. I don't know if he's actually doing damage there, though. I guess he took out the dock. Guard tower's in. Yo might be a little scared after seeing his opponent's up. But it's like Castle Age into what here? He doesn't have a lot of army anymore, ACCM. Chad, help me out, please. And just say turtle ship for me. He doesn't have the gold for it just yet. He had to batter down that tower. He's going to be back on gold. Just... come on, ACCM. It might not even be the play. Nah, it's the play. It's the play. I think it's still fine, but I think against like 6 fires in feudal, it would be a problem. And Yo's got 2 docks for that, so. I think you use the turtles on the shoreline too. They're expensive, but they're strong. And notice how it hasn't really been an issue for Yo that ACCM's encapsulate so much faster. We got a turtle! Let's go! Also, this tower getting 2 kills is pretty nice. I see way too many people make 1 turtle ship and then just say, we're done. I think the opponent always prepares for 1 turtle. They're never prepared for 2. Now, I don't know if ACCM can afford justify 2, so that's the reason behind why he might not do it. But, like, 2 of them might end up winning water. 1 of them might look like a waste. It's a weird... It's a weird situation. It really is. Yo's collected 800 more resources, but second TC up will be up for ACCM on the shorefish here. And Koreans are just really hard to kill. There's the siege workshop for Yo. Well, that's fascinating. So he wants to siege push this side. Siege pushing Koreans, like if they spot that, should easily be able to stop it with a guard tower. But it'd be important to see it before the siege comes up, because a guard tower here would be what you would do, which he could do now, no problem, but he has no reason to do it. It's going to be 2 turtle ships with a couple fires. And ACCM is probably expecting any possible pressure from here. This siege workshop is crazy good. And there's the turtles, baby. Let's go! Now, you might think that they're not going to be able to fish under these conditions in the middle, and that fighting for water is unimportant. But remember, the turtle ships have range. So this can disrupt the shorefish, which is the majority of Yo's food eco right now. So this is a really big deal. As is the siege push. So both players have different options to pressure the siege. This is pretty crazy, man. Again, you would normally want to drop a castle or a tower to protect this, but now you can't drop it on the front because the siege is here, and Yo's going to actually force ACCM to build a castle behind. Also, turtle ships they have some splash damage. So if a bunch of villagers around 1 shorefish get hit, 5 of them could die out to 1 volley. So Yo just has to leave. He does still have some here. He will need to farm. And Yo sees that ACCM is building that castle. Now, if I'm Yo, I'm pretty happy about that castle. Just because that castle position could have been in so many other areas to give you problems. This is a castle that tells you, oh, I've done a good thing here. But I don't know if you're overall happy about the position. We'll see. War wagons could be kind of dangerous too. A couple war wagons could be needed at home for ACCM right now. The turtles have been owning, guys. I also think these turtles will be able to range Yo's TC here. Yo's economy is looking all right. His aggression's looking fantastic, though. Killed two vills here, maybe 3. And now the war wagons from ACCM trying to kill the siege to keep the TC up, and he gets it. Really well played. So that means... Oh, and now we can drop a tower. Ooh, that's crazy. Okay. No, don't lose the turtle ship. Don't lose the turtle ship. Dude, ACCM. Okay, it's fine. Romans actually don't get sanctity, so their monks will always be one-shotted there. I have a memory of one of the prior Red Bulls where I think Hera was up against Yo or ACCM, and he made like 10 monks that game to try and convert turtle ships. He always went in with 1 monk, and he kept losing the monks to the turtles. It was like so funny because it was like 9 separate times he went in to convert a turtle and the turtle got the kill. It was so freaking funny. I don't know which Red Bull that was. I think that was one of the online ones, not one of the LAN events. That was during COVID. Devotion now for Yo. So he doesn't want those monks to have any power. I mean, listen, I get that devotion's a tech and all, but it does cost a lot of resources. I feel like, should you really be that worried about monks that don't get sanctity? I don't really think so. But players hate their monks, and I'm sure Yo will make a couple more every now and then. Military situation just got really strong for ACCM. He's got 7 wagons. That'll continue to climb. He's got the 2 turtles that are slowly eating this TC. Yo, no access to shorefish now, so he has to transition into just standard old farms. Everything's efficient with the Romans. He's going to even expand over here, but he's 15 villagers behind, guys. Winner gets a ticket to Red Bull El Renado in Spain. Crazy prize pool for the main event, plus the experience. Hearts will be broken today. ACCM, yo, both so loved. So amazing for an event like that. The fact that only one's going to make it's actually making me sad thinking about it right now. But what a series so far, dude. This has been so good. Great bounce back game for ACCM here. I think he deleted his turtle ship. I think he thought it was going to be converted there. I can't be certain. That's a dead monk. Yeah. I mean, with devotion, that conversion never comes in. So that is where maybe devotion was worth it for him. So he didn't even have to think about it. And this TC will go down as well soon for Yo. Yo's made a lot of skirms. Skirms are good for the wagons. What you would actually want now is you'd want mangonels with your wagons if you're ACCM. I think that's what the Siege Workshop was for. Random siege push here from Yo. Very random. I assume he knows about this, but maybe not. I don't know. Just going to go down. And ACCM's kind of like, okay. Nice awareness from ACCM there. Another try. Guys, you can't... If you don't have Sanctity, stop trying it. This is the same exact thing that I was saying when Hera did it like 3 or 4 years ago. Why do people keep trying? Go in with 2 monks. Stop going in with 1 monk. Have we learned nothing from the past? Oh, big shot there from Yo. That was a really nice shot there. ACCM still working around with his wagons here. There's also no way of knowing if your opponent has devotion, which obviously plays a small role, but it takes a bit to convert a turtle, combined with the fact that the turtle will always one-shot a non-sanctity monk. So if you have sanctity, it's different, I believe. It was against Yo. Listen, sometimes, like, players are obviously very smart, right? But they can't think about it like we do, and they just have so many different things to look at, so they just think, oh, monk convert. They don't, like, really think, oh, I need multiple here, you know? The Hera one in the past was really bad because it's like, after the 4th time, maybe you start to think about it a little bit more. Here, I think Yo's going to go for multiple and give it a shot. But it's also been so long, I don't remember the other scenario either, so... If you have Sanctity, you still get 1 shot? Oh, really? Okay. Is that true? Let's see. Turtles do 50 damage. And Sanctity monks only go down to 45 HP. Or up to 45 HP. So yeah, that would maybe make sense. You'd need to have Aztecs. This TC's finally going to go down. And monks start to convert. ACCM's not scared. ACCM should be scared because he didn't... Oh my god. Okay, I'd be pissed now. I take it back. I'm on the player's side. I'd be pissed. That's devotion. Devotion definitely played its role there. Oh, he converted a fire ship. Congratulations. Yeah, the turtles, remember, have 6 range. So right there, the monks were outranging them. ACCM's on the way to Imp. So is Yo. We're going to have a tower here. Middle control. I want to see cannon galleons from the middle. What does Yo make here? Roman skirms? They don't get much better. I think you still need skirms. I think like skirm cavalier would be your unit composition here. As much as I'd love to see infantry, I just don't know if it's great when the Koreans have such good ranged units. This tower going up. That'll be a keep soon. Which means Yo can't take this gold. And there's the Yipseong upgrade to add extra range as well. Looking kind of tricky for Yo. He does still have a pretty solid eco. He's not going to be killed off anytime soon. But certainly a complicated scenario for him. Especially if we do see cannon galleons from the middle that'll start to pick off his buildings. Why is Yo still so far ahead in resources collected? I think part of that's Romans. Also, I think the fact that he had to farm earlier has played its role. Like, let's compare the amount of farms. There's only 9 farms for ACCM. So he's got 35 on food, but 22 of that is these villagers, which eventually is just not going to be an option. So I think it's the farming and the fact that he's Romans is the key here. Another key. Yo making the first Treb. There it is. ACCM will make Trebs just a little bit after him, but still, it's something. Yo going to snag relic number 2. ACCM doesn't have any. Lots of stone and gold over here on the sides, which for ACCM to take. You know, something I could see happening here, guys. If ACCM loses this castle, Yo's going to start to raid like a madman. ACCM doesn't really have, like... I guess he does actually have random towers everywhere, but you really want castles in your eco. And Yo has really done a nice job here. Now, ACCM building up a tower or 2 down here in the south. Dude, ACCM with Koreans is just... It's just the worst. The best if you're an ACCM fan. You're up against him. It's just not fun. He's stubborn. He sticks around. He'll have towers up in your eco when you're not expecting it. Yo, getting the cav upgrades now. There's actually no gold in this back corner, which is wild. So all of it is, I guess, over here. He is going to ram push this down, though. I don't know. ACCM's actually... That's crazy. He's going for mangonels, expecting the rams there. Let's see if he can hop out and kill those rams. He just noticed because he just garrisoned here. And now Yo's going to send the cav in to try and snipe the mangonels. So they both knew exactly what was happening there, which is crazy. Tower's actually attacking the rams, so Yo's going to kill that. Nice job from Yo. And Yo winning the Trebor situation on this side right now. He will take out the castle for ACCM. So ACCM's towers will go down over here. This was relatively short-lived. Yo going for light cav. Romans do not get Hussar. And then, funnily enough, Koreans get Hussar, but Koreans get like... They have no bloodlines. They have no extra attack, final attack, or armor, so their Hussars are worse than the Roman light cav by a long shot. Yo is enough stone to build multiple castles. He loses his castle here, but his Trebs are still firing on ACCM. He's still alive in this game. He does take a massive shot to the dome there. Still kind of feeling like maybe there's a chance for Yo here. Everything's looking good for ACCM map control-wise. But there's still 15 villagers in the middle. That's half of his food eco. He has since added farms. It's skirms, it's crossbows, and pikemen for ACCM as his unit comp. So he seems to expect that it's going to be the full-on light cab play from Yo. He's seen it a couple times now. I like mixing in the ARBs here. I think it's a really good move to help against the light cav. I think just full-on ARB skirm is fine. Roman skirms are not good. So you out-skirm their skirm. You then have Arbalest mixed in to help with anything else. It's the easy combo because you have all the other upgrades anyhow. Except for ballistics, actually, which is kind of a big deal. It makes sense. Over here, Rams. Going for a TC here. Little side base here from Yo. Or ACCM on the stone and the gold. And Yo just super desperate here. Trying again to treb down ACCM's trebs. ACCM bringing in a bombard cannon. Something Romans can't do. Yo cannot lose this castle. This gold here, this corner is so important to him. He cannot lose this. ACCM, you got to get ballistics, dude. Okay, he noticed. He noticed. Sometimes the fights just don't go in a way where you can tell that you don't have ballistics. I think right there, when the light cav ran away and he didn't kill any, he realized. The light cav will dive, kill a monk. Might even get the bombard cannon. That's a nice snipe there from Yo. He does not have a lot of gold access, though. There's another bombard cannon on the way from ACCM. ACCM does lose a Treb. Yo's Trebs have done the job to hold here. They've gotten kills on ARBs. They've gotten kills on Trebs. I mean, some people might think this is a little stubborn from ACCM to stay here. I think, as he shoots a deer, I think it's understandably stubborn because of the other positions that he has. Like, he's just going to drop another tower here. He still has tons of stone and gold available. And that's going to be another bombard cannon loss, though. Okay, at this point, I'd say maybe you have to pack up the Trebs, ACCM. Chill out for a moment. It's not like Yo is going to immediately be able to push down all your towers. Patience and wait for a couple bombard cannons instead of just one could be the play. The tower goes up. Yo gets annoyed. Yo's going to batter down the tower and drop a castle here. Okay. And then take the golds. Someone says Romans are such a bad civ. I disagree. They're really good early and mid game. They just don't have a great late game. So if you want to say they're great, they're not great in super late game, I could maybe agree with that statement. But in my opinion, I mean, and obviously the pros' opinions as well, I think Romans have had their time, right? We've seen Romans do really well. But they do lack some options. Now, what I think can be really good for Koreans, because Koreans, they can't go for like stable units at all. I think we could actually see the rare, like, Siege Ram Heavy Scorpion play work out here. Listen, ACCM is going to start to lose some ground on this side to Roman Skirms and Rams. And then here, Yo is held on. And don't tell me Yo's actually in a good spot in this game all of a sudden. Kind of reminds me of game number 1, where Yo just will not die. Only here, Yo actually has relics. Yo actually has the better eco. And ACCM spending a lot of his time adding farms. You can tell he's doing that. Resources collected still higher for Yo. Romans do get siege ram, right? They absolutely should. They do get siege ram. Okay. Wait, is that what this means? I actually don't use this that frequently. I think that means they get siege ram. They just haven't researched it yet. Yeah. I think siege ram is really underrated at the pro level right now. They don't get siege ram? Okay, what does this mean then? How is this? Why is that still? No, they do. They do. Because they don't get bracer. Look how it's shorted on the archer range there. They do get it. Agree or disagree, though, that siege ram is really underrated at a pro level. Especially because you can garrison your units so easily into multiple rams now. I think siege ram is actually the upgrade right now for Yo. Siege ram skirm kind of kills everything that ACCM is doing right now. Yo is starting to raid. ACCM is chasing a lot. The heart's probably starting to beat. He's like, I have this game. I've had score lead for so long. You do check score in these instances, and you're like, oh my god, the gap is getting closer. It's getting closer. It's getting closer. And Yo hasn't been spending gold. He's just been going with mediocre skirms and light calf. And ACCM used to have so many trebs, so many cannons. He's not been able to hold it together here, guys. We see man-at-arms. We see chainmail armor. We see barracks. Oh, Legionary could be super good here as well, right? Before, it didn't feel like Legionary made sense. Oh, no. ACCM. 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 He's falling apart, guys. There's too many things to control. Another bombard cannon goes down. He's lost so many bombard cannons and trebs this game. And Yo kind of had the same group of 4 trebs. Yo will also snag relic number 3. I did say I would gift subs if we saw legionaries, turtle ships, and guard towers this game. I don't know why I said guard towers. That was a stupid one, but whatever. We've seen war wagons, turtle ships. I think that might have been one of the things I said, actually. And after longsword for the Romans is the legionary tech. It takes a while to research. I think it takes close to 2 minutes. ACCM is going to go for a cannon galleon in the middle. But guys, he has no real solid defense. He has no defensive castles. He's dropping lots of towers, though, which is something. And there's Legionary. Yo has access to gold here. He has access to gold here. He has access to gold here. There's gold everywhere. And he has 3 relics. And could get the 4th relic. Yo is in a dream scenario. You know who we need to thank for this? We need to thank the individual that said Romans are so bad. See, they probably thought that I called them out. No, I'm giving you credit. Because ever since we had that conversation, Yo has just exploded. I don't know if he heard you. I don't know if he felt personally offended. Turtle ship? Nope. This has been a big turnaround. Here are the legionaries. And if you were taking a shot every time ACCM lost a lone bombardier in this game, you might already be toast. Oh, God. I'm going to have to say this for once. Okay, guys. Comitatenses. The Comey's on the way. Comey's on the way. And it's very tense. Comey is very tense. You need tech for the Romans. Adds a charge attack to their legionaries. Again, not a tech you see every day. But it makes sense. It makes your current composition stronger. Would still like to see Siege Ram, but Yo is spending a lot of food on every other unit right now. Hard for him to justify 1,000 food. And also, his Trebs are doing fine. His Trebs are doing completely fine. More bomber cannons! There was just 2 bomber cannons in the Siege Workshop, ACCM! Dude! He has not been able to get a real concerted push together. I think he tried to get too fancy on the sides. If he committed everything to this position, I'm not sure how Yo would have done. But instead, he probably felt like, oh, I can kill here, I can kill middle, I can push the right. Instead, he lost everything. And Yo's going to take this game. ACCM has limited golds. He has no relics. The relics for Yo were here, though. Okay, so for the time being, Yo doesn't have any relics either. Yo does have gold income, though. And this castle will go up. ACCM's castle will crash down. We're just losing ground to everywhere. Now, chat. The Comita Tenses tech, does that also not add a benefit to mixing in what's it called? Centurions with the legionaries? I thought there was a mixed benefit. Now, forgive me, guys. It's just not something you see that frequently. Is that just always without the tech? It's present by default. Okay, got it. So there's a bunch of people that are really upset he's not mixing in some Centurions right now. Because I feel like any time I've ever played Romans on a stream, people have been like, why not mix in them? You know? Alright. I think it adds to, like... I think the Centurion, like, boosts the group in attack speed. Which is enough to justify sending some units in, though, in my opinion. Guys, ACCM's pop might still be high. But where does he have any control right now? Yo is going to try his best to get these relics. And he will get them to a safe monastery. The towers have crazy kills. But, like... ACCM is just completely out of gas. He's out of gold. And this is one... Listen, I've been around long enough to know that this is the type of loss that can decide a series. Because it's going to be close. It's going to be competitive. A 2K score lead. And a nice position. And then the other player bringing it back. It can get into ACCM's mind. It can creep into his soul. And if things start to go wrong the next game, maybe it could be a thought of, am I throwing again? Is Yo doing this to me again? It's a dangerous, dangerous situation right now for ACCM. And Yo's Legionaries are doing an amazing job. There's never really been a big ball of Arbalest, which is what you would want. Because Legionaries, they have 6 armor. And Arbalest do 10 damage. So you'd want like 30 Arbalest. But it's never really been the case here for ACCM. GG. How did Yo win that one, dude? How did Yo win that one? It looked so bad for him. And that's why he hangs around. That's why, there are moments where you say, oh, this is GG, that is GG, someone should call it. He just held on. He ended up winning the Treb war enough on the left side. He cleaned up the towers here in the south. And then he started to raid with the light cav, and his eco kept expanding. He snagged a relic here or there and collected 10,000 more resources and got the job done. Now, if I know ACCM and Yo, they're both going to agree on a smoke break after that game. So we probably won't have the next game for a minute. So what I want to go back to is I want to analyze this moment again. I want to look at this position. So there's a couple things as they're about the Treb war in this position in Imp, okay? So first off, the economic aspects cannot be forgotten. So here's actually a perfect example of it. Look at the food at the top right for ACCM. It says 14 on food. 7 of them are these villagers walking somewhere. And then this is going to spike up when he builds a mill. Okay, this runs out eventually. This runs out. So, that's half his food eco at this time. Whereas for Yo, his 38 eco is consistent, and that will never end. Okay? Now, I want to look at ACCM's current position. With hindsight being, 2020 and all that. I think if he focuses only here, and he doesn't put attention here, he's fine. You might be like, well, then Yo takes this corner. Yeah, Yo takes this corner. He loses this, and then he has no corner here, and he loses a great deal of his eco soon after. So what the issue for ACCM quite simply was, he tried to do too many things, in my opinion. And I think if he focused primarily on this push and made sure he won this push, then he would have been fine. Even here, this is still winnable if he's able to bring in bombard cannons properly. He really struggled with that. But, maybe the argument is it's because he was looking at all of this and thinking about the other side. We're used to pros being able to multitask and do all those things and getting away with it. Here, Yo, I guess, was just so good in that concerted push, that focused push in this area, that things eventually just fell apart. I mean, even here, guys, it's crazy, crazy, crazy. Yo was down by 50 population, and he still ended up losing the game. So, I wish I had a stat on how many bombard cannons ACCM had this game. Do you guys think it's fair to say that he had 10 bombard cannons? I'm going to say that. He had 10 bombard cannons at least. I never saw 3 bombard cannons in the same area. Right? Which is really bad. That normally decides Treb wars. He lost Treb wars because he would trickle the cannon, I guess, lose an individual cannon, and then fall apart. So Yo just did a really good job at staying alive and sniping them. And yeah, look at the difference in food income. 12,000 more food just because Yo went to farms. Ooh, I wonder what Yo's going to do. There's stone right next to the TC. He's picked Bohemians. I wonder what he's going to do. Is there a hole here? Guys, there is a chance that Yo gets units stuck here. I'm just saying. This is a dangerous spot for a stable. If he tries to send units to the south, which is where ACCM's base is, you could see a scout get trapped in there. Now, Yo, his goal is going to be to wall up in this matchup. I've seen him play Bohemians a couple different ways. He likes to go for hand cannons in Castle Age, which he did in, I think he did in ranked games before against ACCM. I have a vague memory of that. I think it was Burgundians against the Bohemians. So he likes to do that, but also you could, and maybe it's just both, you can take the stone and you can drop a castle on the other stones to secure that for later on, because that's the big thing about this map. For now, though, he's up against Magyars, and Magyars, the best scout rush civ in the game. They start with that forging upgrade right away, and so ACCM is going to be out here with an intent to kill. And so here he is. He's got the hill, but he doesn't want to toss away the scout. He's been very patient here, but not patient enough. Doesn't kill the villager. Nice save there from Yo. Really awkward map to secure, to wall up, but so far Yo has done a fairly decent job. It is not going to look pretty. You just have to get the walls down. You just have to keep these scouts away from your base here. I really like that Yo added his own scouts because it gives him mobility, and there was a bit of a gap there. But again, having your own mobility is actually, sometimes it's better to have a couple extra scouts to defend from scouts than to just have spears. Because fast players will just avoid your spearmen, so. But ACCM wasn't able to find the damage he would have wanted here. So the next thing I think about with Magyars would normally be a Cav Archer follow-up, which I think could still be really good here. I think it's also really good if you think it's going to be, like, ranged unit follow-up from Yo. But what could be good against Cav Archers is the wagons. So in my brain, I'm thinking, if we're up against CA, we need a unit that's good against CA. And then maybe villagers start to transition over to stone for Yo. Before you know it, so... Yeah, Evan, I don't think kip checks are very strong on this, mainly because I don't think the Cumans are very strong on this. But, like, I mean, I had the conversation earlier, kip checks are very strong, and we saw an example of that. But I do love how, like, you guys enjoy Dave and I bickering about the kip checks. You just love to hear mom and dad fight, you know? The base is open here, but Yo doesn't have enough scouts to really justify running through. And Yo has transitioned villagers on the stone. So I think it's probably going to be a mix for Yo. I think he might not drop the castle right away. If he wants to drop the castle right away, he needs a few more villagers on stone. He could also buy some extra stone. Oh, there we go. That answers our question. More villagers on stone. The castle also helps protect you. It's kind of hard to build on this map, but I think like building it here could be good, just in case CA break in. It protects your gold. Wood is obviously a concern then. And wagons are high pierce armor. They're high enough attack. They're just super, super slow. Oh my god, are we going to see Magyar Hussar to counter these? Oh my god. I need a second. Okay, I'm so pumped for this, guys. I'm so pumped for this. Listen, the Magyar Hussar is a Hussar that has a bonus against siege. The Hussite Wagon is a siege unique unit. We never see the Magyar Hussar, like, really. And it's certainly not an opening in Castle Age, but I think ACCM has correctly predicted what his opponent is thinking he is going to do. And so he is going to drop a castle. I think we'll see... It's probably worth it to get the unique tech, too. It's not that expensive. I think it's like 200 food, maybe 100 gold. And then your Magyar Hussar don't cost gold. This could be sick. Yo is looking right now, and he's just like, where are your archer ranges? You're going to go Cav Archers. Also, I like the light Cav choice from ACCM, just to have some mobility for any monks. And there's the castle for Yo. So I think Yo wants army to immediately protect him and go over here to this stone. He loves to build TCs out here. The second TC now for ACCM. And he builds the castle there. I don't mind the castle here. I think it's too risky to get the castle in the other position. I think the key here is hiding the Magyar Hussar. You cannot let Yo know you're doing this too early. Because then Yo is just going to go pikeman. And then you're stuck. And that's the tricky thing with Bohemians, is they have so many options that are really good. Like, Yo is going to rely on some wagons. And he's going to be looking for Cav Archers. He lost his scout, though. That's a big deal. Other scout is over here, though. Also... That's kind of funny. I guess ACCM tried to click them into his base at some point, and he had walled them out. Did Yo notice that? Oh, come on. Okay, no, I think that's Auto Scout, actually. That's definitely Auto Scout. 3 HP, and it's Yo. The stats I had during Hidden Cup, Yo actually Auto Scouts more than any other pro. And that was before... I think that was before the change where all scouts can Auto Scout. So, okay. Here come the wagons. Oh, God. Yo sees a Magyar Hussar. Auto Scout is in! Auto Scout has infiltrated the enemy lines! He's still moving! Oh, jeez, dude. Auto Scout OP. And now Yo's gonna be like, Magyar Hussar. Alright. Fancy little move you've gone for there, bud. I'm gonna go for pikeman now. Light Cav still going to be out there for the monk. Yo getting distracted, possibly. Loses the monk. Nice job for ACCM. Pikemen from Bohemians do extra bonus damage. So you do have to be careful with high pike numbers. You can still use mobility to avoid the pikemen. The Magyar Hussar shred the siege. Oh my goodness. You still have the extra attack from the Magyars. It is easier to control the Cav than it is to control the wagons and the pikemen. I like ACCM's economy right now, but Yo's economy also looking really tasty. 2 TCs. He'll go for a 3rd TC over here. And another monk goes down. Another wagon goes down. And even another wagon goes down because of this opening here from ACCM. Dude, let's go! Let's go! This is sick. And the great thing for ACCM too is that he killed some of the early pikes. Right? There was just like 2 or 3 pikes lingering. If they would have been saved, it would make things much easier for Yo. I do think eventually you have to switch away from the Magyar Hussar because there's going to be too many pikemen. Eventually. But the longer you can utilize them, the better here. And the micro from ACCM, so good. Oh my god, he kills the monk right before losing those 2 light cap. That is really nice. So he's killed like 3 or 4 unique units, and he's killed 3 or 4 monks. This has been... Actually, resources destroyed should show you. 1,500 resources destroyed versus 700. This has been really good engagement-wise for ACCM. And, but now again, he's got to think about what else he does. I think Cav Archers and Imp is great. I think going Cav Archers now is tough to justify. Because you need the ranges, and then you need... maybe 15 Cav Archers. That's a lot of wood. That's a lot of gold invested. You don't have it now. What you can do is add 1 or 2 Mangonels. And that can help you in the here and now. Magyar Hussar. No armor, by the way. No armor. Get out of here, Hussite wagons. Another monk goes down as well. Dude, ACCM is playing amazing. I wondered how he would play... how he might feel after the previous game, right? Because the previous game, I think he could have had, maybe should have had. And while Yo is not out at all yet, you know, let's not count Yo out especially, but he has really played nicely here. Over on this side, he's had this TC for a minute. But Bohemians. I think it's the combo. The combo of pikes, wagons, and monks, all those things maxed out is tough for Magyars right now. You would need the Mangonel to hit the wagons and some of the pikes, and then you could probably take engagement with the Cav. So I think it's doable. And it's not immediately obvious to Yo where he can actually pressure. No one wants to pressure up a hill. And then he'd have to go all the way across the map. ACCM is going to lose this Ville, but you can tell what he's trying to do is just be aware on what's happening. Those are just some goats in the north. Yo didn't know that there was going to be siege mixed in as well. He's only seen the Magyar Hussar, and the Magyar Hussar poking away, doing a great job. And look at ACCM again. Pulls the light cav over to go kill the monks. I don't think he's going to get this one, but he does weaken and kill 2 more wagons. And the value from these attacks have just been fantastic. Almost kills another one. Unconquered says 4-3, mark my words. Hey, I could definitely see this going to 7 games. Yeah. I said 4-2 for Yo at the start of the day. Because I felt like Yo was kind of going to have games just like the previous one where... Maybe not just like the previous one, but I just feel like Yo hangs on a little bit better than some other players, and it's hard to kill him off. I didn't know ACCM was going to have this, like, lightning fast execution here today, though. Like, he's always had that as a possibility, but... Like, he is really... He just seems faster than Yo right now. Now, his units are faster than Yo, so maybe that's the factor, but... He's really making them work. Now, any building... that is on cracked terrain takes extra damage. I believe this TC was on cracked terrain, so the TCs go down really quickly. So Yo needs to respect this. Meanwhile... Oh, baby! Oh, baby! We got Vills from Yo. Headed over to the TC here. Does ACCM know what's coming? What does he do? I don't know. What do? You drop your own castle? You hope not to die? He's going to drop his own castle. He knows because he sees the vills. That's going to be a castle drop from Yo. Meanwhile, Yo needs to keep his own TC up right now. He's got pikes. He's got monks. He's going to try. He did just get redemption, so he can actually convert the siege from ACCM. ACCM didn't know that. Castle will go up here for both players. I really like this position for Yo, though, on the left side. That is extremely strong. Now, if he loses all of his monks here, and ACCM still has siege... No! ACCM loses the siege. There's enough pikes now where the Magyar Hussars die, and oh, man. That's a whole lot of pressure. Yo's just going to casually eat a rhino here after a hard day's work building the castle, and Yo is up to Imp. Man, it's been such a good game from ACCM. It's been a really unique opening, but Yo finds himself on the way to Imp. Yo's protecting himself from the Magyar Hussar and will prepare some pikes. He's got a castle that has already taken out one of ACCM's TCs. And now I wonder, what does ACCM even do here? It's crazy how quickly things fall apart, right? I think Yo needs a castle to protect the right side. And then he has a castle in the middle, a castle on the left, a castle on the right, and he's an Imp. And yeah, 30 seconds of not the best decisions, and you are done versus Yo. I agree with the chatter who said that. Cav Archers, now the choice here for ACCM. I think the Magyars would have hoped for a couple things prior to all this. I think they would have hoped for a couple more Vil kills in the Feudal Age. That's a moment where they really need to find some damage. That didn't happen. Then in Castle Age, I felt the decisions and the choices for ACCM is fantastic. But again, the combo of Pike, Monk, Wagon is just so awkward to engage against. And Yo finally got those numbers up. He didn't have the numbers up in the earlier stages. Now, Cav Archer's just not really a good play against the Wagons. Magyar Hussar still can be created, though, from this castle. And the other castle, actually. And the nice thing for ACCM is he didn't actually lose these vills. He could have lost those villagers. Look at this crazy, crazy combo in the middle. Yo will make Trebs from the left side. I actually think it's important that Yo walls in his Trebs, because otherwise Magyar Hussar will dive. I think Yo will do it. A lot of other players wouldn't. But think about it. You put your Treb here, and you go wall, wall, wall. And then the Treb can't be killed by Magyar Hussar. And then you don't need army there. And the Trebs just kind of do the job. Oh my god. Cav Archers need to get out of here. Magyar Hussars need to get here, but that's a whole lot of wood. Too much wood to engage against there. Yo's making his Trebs. Remember, his castle is on cracked terrain, so his will actually go down way faster if it's being Trebbed. And, wagons get destroyed. Man, they take a lot. They receive a lot of damage against Mangonels. And hold on. Cav Archer's clearing the pikes. Magyar Hussar's clearing out the Hussite wagons. And ACCM still has a nice villager lead. Double the military right now. He just doesn't have access to stone. ACCM will make Trebs from the left, but he needs to repair his castle with no stone. This gets difficult. He does still have gold. He does have 3 relics. He is getting Cav Archer upgrades now. You could tell he wants to engage against this. And I think he can. Yo is realizing this too. Like, Yo's pikes are trying to, like, stay near the castle and then move out for the Magyar Hussars. And then ACCM's trying to bait him as well. Yep. But there's enough Magyar Hussar remaining. Those Trebs will go down. Wow, this is a crazy game. I'm really unsure on how this is going to play out. Like, ACCM looks like he was in such a bad spot after he got castled on this side. But he actually, if he could still get some stone again, this could be unbelievable. He also has Trebs here pushing the castle from Yo. I don't think Yo can keep up with that. You could see how good the Hussite wagons are versus CA. The CA need to get out, but Magyar Hussar has proved to be insanely strong in combination with the Cav Archers. Cav archers, maybe. It's a tough one. It's like, do you loop back here? Is it too much of a risk? He is clearing up the wagon, sorry. He is losing his Cav archers to the castle, though. He didn't know about that. He might be looking here. And ACCM has taken out Yo's castle. Yo's on 2 castles, but they're both in the middle now. And this castle stays up for ACCM. He can get back to stone. Crazy, man. Also, recurve bow is in. That's a big tech. Extra range and attack on the Cav archers. Yo's dead. What a turnaround. What a turnaround. I think Yo is dead. It is Yo we're talking about. He's going to put up a lot of fight, but all this eco's exposed. All these villagers are going to be killed. He does not have enough army. He does not have enough gold, it seems. Maybe if he holds the left-hand side. If he can hold the left-hand side, that could be the real decider. He does have Halb. Oh my god, he's got a random bump. Yo, how do you do it? How do you do it? I'm thinking he's dead because he's going to lose the right-hand side and lose 20 vills. But just sneaks out a cannon. Just at the last... Oh my god. He loses it. He kept himself in the game with that moment there just because he didn't lose those villagers on stone. But ACCM is cooking, guys. And he's got a healthy economy. He's got great upgrades. I would love to see Elite Magyar Hussar, but I don't even know if that's needed there. And yeah, he kills the Treb there from Yo. Yo's Halbs have had issues against the Cav archers, and Yo's wagons have had issues against the Siege and the Magyar Hussar. Any other Civ matchup, the Magyar you don't really have a Cav unit that can engage against the wagons like this. The Magyar Hussar play, such a niche little play. It's like, even though they have a bonus against Siege, no one really uses them against Siege in the same way. Like, you don't see, like, Magyar Hussar against organ guns, for example. But it's just been a really nice choice. Great creativity from ACCM. I don't think he pre-picked them for that, but maybe he did. There's lots of other reasons to pick the Magyars, like just their early game. And the wagons have looked awkward to utilize. Yo is just scattered everywhere around this map, and he can't get a real force together. And it's going to be fully upgraded recurve bow Cav archers soon. Yeah, these things are really tough to get to typically, and if you get to them, you usually win games. It actually arrives to a point now with this much damage where I think the wagons don't even do that well against the CA. And then I think CA can kind of just kill everything. This is what life has come to. If this is what life has come to, I think you know you're in a bad spot. Repairing the wagon with everything he had there. And the GG's called. It's 2-2. That was my favorite game of the weekend. That right there. That was so freaking cool. The Magyar, I mean, just the thought process of how the game would play out, right? Yo goes, oh, he's going to go Cav archers. I will go Hussite wagons. ACCM can then go Magyar Hussar to counter the Hussite wagons. Yo then mixes in the pikes, then the Cav archers come out anyways. We had like the castle drop on the left from Yo, which was so freaking strong, but then ACCM held on. It was just, that was so cool. Also, I'm a big fan of the Magyars, so that might be a big reason why that excited me so much. But what a win. That is a comfort Civ pick and a comfort map for Yo. We have seen Yo play Bohemians on that map many times. He's usually gotten the win, even many times against ACCM when they tried to qualify via the ladder. So, well done there, ACCM. Scores 2-2. And 3 more games, guys, to decide who gets a freaking ticket to Spain for a big old land in a castle. Crazy scenes. All right, in the red, we have Khmer for ACCM. We've got Mayans here for Yo. Now, I think, like, if these civilizations can get to their ideal comps, we have a crazy game on our hands. But obviously, there's a lot that's going to play out here. Mayans have the extra Vil. Mayans have the cheap walls. And Kars is pretty easy to wall up. So I think in this one, we're going to see ACCM try and deny those walls. And Yo he might not even move out until he is fully walled here. ACCM not walling on the front here of his berries, which is interesting. The way he placed the stable on the back is not something you'll see every day. But Archer opening here for Yo. Pretty much the only opening Mayans can go for in Empire Wars. You could obviously mix in Eagles later on as well. But usually it's like Spears and Archers to start, and that's going to be a dead Eagle there. This is like, when I play Empire Wars, and I played a lot, this is something I never know. I never know what to do with Eagles. Because if it's a Dark Age game, it's like, okay, the Eagle won't just get sniped right away. You're fine. You can scout. But here, you have to scout, but if the enemy goes scouts, you just lose your Eagle, and there's nothing you could do about it. So, someone just gifted a sub to the individual who offered to be an idle villager. Well, thank you, Evan. Wonderful support here. By the way, guys, audio good? Everything good? Hope everything's been fine. If it's how I sound that is the issue, then I can't change that. But I'll do my best to be better. Scouts. Dodging. This is good. I mean, you might want to keep your scouts alive, actually, but pretty tempting to run in there, I think, to maybe get some kills. Yo is, as we expected, not going to move out or take any risks until he is fully walled here. Terrible voice, great quality. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I asked because I boosted the game sounds recently. I've been re-listening some of my videos. I feel like the game sounds needed a boost, so I boosted up slightly. I'll listen back later myself, but good to know. Good to know. Reminder, we got this series, which is just an absolute banger 2-2. And then we have Winchester against Hart. All deciding who gets that ticket to Spain for Red Bull. So, crazy sets here, guys. Just crazy stuff. Double range archers for Yo. He also shows that he's doing this. This might not come as a surprise, but like, sometimes there's always that thought of, especially if one player is going skirms, you might think the Mayan player here would go Eagles. Ooh, trapped archer. Oh, Yo deleted his archer range. Yo tried to delete the palisade and misclicks. Will that be the difference between a ticket to Spain or God, it was a great moment and I really ruined it. But, you know, that's huge. That's crazy. I can't believe what we just saw. He's off his berries now. His range is down. He needs a counterattack to work, but I don't think he's going to be able to get through. He has to force a tower down. Oh, my God. And ACCM's going to dive. ACCM's going to dive. And he's going to massacre villagers here. And he snipes an archer there. Dude, ACCM is going to take this opportunity, and he is going to run with it. This is so good. Now, it's not over, right? But game playing out the window here for Yo. And there goes ACCM again. Quick gates. What is this game? What is happening? Ah! There's like no army at home for Yo to defend right now. There's 3 skirmishers here for ACCM that can help against any archers or any spears. And oh my God, ACCM, you're crazy, bro. This is why you can't let someone like ACCM into your base. Because he will run through your TC. He will go for the kills any time he can. Killed 4 villagers here, and that's perfect. Think of the idle time for Yo as well. Think of the nerves. Think of the frustration. He still has other villagers in here that are weak, that could die. I think ACCM knows that one is weak. He's going to use his skirms versus the archers. Yo is toast. Oh my God. Amazing cutthroat play from ACCM, which is maybe to be expected with how good he's played today. Combined with, I think, one of the worst mistakes I've ever seen Yo make in a tournament. Except for maybe losing that villager in Wandering Warriors Cup and resigning 3 minutes in against Viper. But, you know, like, this is... that was a long time ago. And that was a little bit more understandable, right? Because of the map situation, if you saw that. ACCM has collected almost 2,000 more resources and will kill another villager here. And now ACCM, you got to get this win, dude. You got to get this win. This is one of Yo's top picks. This will take all the pressure off for the future games. You got to finish him off here. Oh, man. Can't go archers anymore. Most of them are dead. These archers here tried to do something. It won't. Nothing's really going to happen. ACCM tracked it. I'm not sure how they got through, but no damage was done. The walls are down. It's going to be light cav. Maybe some knights here for ACCM. And the thing that's tough for Yo is he's kind of in an all-in army position now because he's lost so much. But I don't know. Like, I don't know if he can boom. I don't know if he could fight for map control. Like, he really doesn't have a lot of resources to work with. It is a best of 7. This would not be the deciding game. So, if Yo loses this, obviously it's going to hurt, but it's not everything. A TC in the back for ACCM. And ACCM will go for husbandry. He'll mix in knights. Yo just sold off his stone. Yo knows that he has to go full army. And so it's going to be eagles and it's going to be monks here. But I mean, ACCM is just on it, dude. He's just on it and he kills the monk right away. And now we'll have the knights out to meet the eagles soon. Imagine if Yo wins this game, even if he gives ACCM this big advantage. I know it's only 6 vills, but it wasn't just the 6 vills. Think about this. He also lost all of his army. He also had tons of inefficiencies in his eco the whole time. So, and he also had villagers, like the villager time to wall up also took a toll. So, I'd really be shocked if ACCM could win, would lose this game. But, I mean, it is Yo. So let's see. Also, type a 1 in chat if you have died to all-in eagles before. And it has lived in your brain ever since. And you just can't get rid of the memory. And I just brought it up and now you're kind of annoyed. Sorry. But yeah, eagles could be a little tricky. Eagles could be tricky. Ideally, you'd have like eagle pikemen here, I think. Maybe that happens. But the longer it takes for Yo to be able to get there, the better the economy will get for ACCM here. And I'd love to see a siege workshop for some scorpions. And there's the siege workshop. Yeah, like, if 3 scorpions come out, it's going to be way more difficult for, stupid monk won't move off the foundation. Yo, monk, move. Sorry, I was just yelling at the monk. It's going to be more difficult for Yo. Okay, skirmisher gets converted. Monks have to back away. ACCM, well aware that he has a nice lead now. He might think that Yo's on 2 TCs. He doesn't know. He doesn't see +2 armor on the eagles yet. There's going to be just another barracks from Yo. If ACCM knows what we know, he should stay 2 TCs, I think. And just go... Just be happy with this ever-glowing slight lead. I said ever-glowing, I meant growing. ACCM's smile is going to be freaking glowing on the stage in Red Bull. If you can make it. Monks on both sides. Wallowing their heart out. Oh god, don't leave that gate open, Yo. Just kidding. That was funny. And Scorpions with Khmer have 7 range. Yo does not have redemption. Watch this monk hold the gate open. Oh, that would have been crazy. 24 eagles for Yo. Maybe doable number, but the Scorpions are such an issue right now. Mayans cannot research redemption. It's not an option. And so Yo's going to have to back away. Scorpions are posing a real problem for the monks. They will for the for the eagles as well, rather. We see iron casting now for Yo. We got a Mangonel now for ACCM. If ACCM were to get +2 attack or +2 armor himself, it would really help here, but also numbers are key. So, sometimes players will opt for numbers over those upgrades. Here, he goes for the attack upgrade. If this was Aztecs, you would never have your siege close by if there were monks, because they could get redemption. But because ACCM understands the tech tree. He knows his siege can be here, no problem. And... oh, Yo doesn't get a conversion. Kind of bailed in the last second there. I actually think he would have gotten a conversion there if he stayed there. The monk would have died anyways, but... I think this army for ACCM is going to be tough for Yo to stop, but Yo's got 34 eagles. You have to avoid a big siege shot, though. So you have to spread these out. Fighting in a choke is not great. Now, eagles also have smaller hitboxes. So, in another aspect, it is kind of nice to fight in a choke because knights get stuck on each other more. Oh, man, that is a sign that he's ready. That is a sign that he's ready, dude. Deletes his gate. Starts to leave his base. Spreads his eagles out. Big fight incoming. I like to see both max out on upgrades if they can. Mangonel goes down for both. Oh, man, I don't know. The monks are telling the eagles to weave through those houses right now, but there's scorpions there. They don't want to listen. Lycav looping for ACCM to kill the monks. He'll lose his Lycav, but he will kill the monks, and then he's got the scorpions, and then he's got the knights. We'll see if the scorpions actually get good enough shots here. Yo's got a lot of eagles. On the left side, the scorpions did work. On the right side, the Mangonel and the knights did work. And this fight was just so good for ACCM. I'm thinking back to the range. The moment where Yo misclicked his archer range and let ACCM into his base, which is what started all of this. And ACCM took that moment and he ran with it, as they say. And the GG's called. ACCM up 3-2. Yo is one loss away from not making it to Red Bull, Wololo, El Granado in Spain. And just remember, I mean, this is where, again, I'm a caster. This is maybe more my brain. As a player, you don't want to think like me. I once asked Yo a question about his mindset before a game, and he said, my strategy is I don't think. His actual words, which I think was like, if I think about it too much, then I get nervous, right? But guys, Yo was like one of the favorites to be top 4 on the ladder, the brutal ladder qualifier. Didn't make it into the top 4. Played tons of games, played super good. Played for weeks. Trained for this for a long time. Big moment. Does all that stuff start to come up in your mind right now? Was this all a waste for me? Oh man, you know, in ACCM, he's just, you can't give him chances, but this game came down to the range delete, honestly. It did. It was a close game up to that point. Everything that Yo was doing was based around having his full walls down. And, well, ACCM, here's the resources if you want to appreciate that. Collected 6,000 more resources and was patient enough in the middle. Did a really good job there with the fights. Okay, so game 6. Berbers for Yo. ACCM had Spanish on his draft, and I was really expecting, like, a full wall approach with Spanish into Conquistadors. He instead goes for pulls, and, you know, full walls is great for pulls because you can farm so freely around the full works. But right here, it's going to be Scowled Opening, pulls, Scowled Opening, Berbers. Remember, players are usually going to be walling to the water where on the side where their transport spawned, and then not walling to the water on the side where their transport did not spawn because the enemy has a transport there. So this is just a cool little detail that I've picked up on. And I love this, that players have realized the transport can actually be useful. I love the Berbers. Like, does anyone remember the matchup where I complained way too much? I feel really bad. I shouldn't have been as, like, adamant about it, but I really didn't like this particular matchup for the polls at an actual LAN event. It was one of the Heidelberg events. Anyone remember the players? It was on Enclosed. Anyways, my feeling at that time was like, why polls? I didn't feel as though they were strong at that time, and I felt they would struggle against the Berbers, but who doesn't, dude? I still have that feeling. Now, after that event, I got to see the Poles eco a little bit more. People figured that Poles out a bit more. Poles are very fresh at that time. So things changed a bit for me after that, but I still think that's a problem, and Yo kills the villager. Yes, it was Winchester going Poles, and it was against... If someone... Come on, chat, you know this. Someone knows this. It was against Veleza. Winchester went Poles, it was against Veleza. And we can kind of move on. So yeah, 10% of the farm's food comes in as a boost after farming around the full work. There's a new full work there for ACCM. He plops down a few more farms. I wonder if Yo will try Camel Archers. See, that was the unit that Veleza went for that Poles don't really have a strong answer to. And I thought Yo was going to want to go Camel Archers against Conquistadors originally. But now, yeah, I think this seems to make a whole lot of sense. You're walled up. Head over to the stone. Try and get to unique units. If there was a way to describe Yo, a style that he likes, if I were to bring up one thing, it would be he likes unique units. There's obviously many aspects of his play, but he's a big unique unit player. Bear got a little bit of lunch there. And Yo didn't actually confirm how ACCM walled, so he's brought the transport here, hoping that he can transport around. But ACCM obviously knows better, and the transport won't really be useful here. On this side, ACCM will scout for map control. Players will want TCs here eventually, so ACCM may be trying to catch out some sneaky vills from Yo on the hunt or something. And it's going to be Camel Archers from Yo. Now, it may be a second town center first, though. So he may choose to boom into the Camel Archers, because, like, if you build the castle too early and delay your second and third town center, and you're already against the Poles eco, which will get better and better, you can be beaten by worse units, especially with the Poles when they have the very cheap units after their castle goes up. I think it's really important for ACCM to build one of those TCs on the outside, though. Like, the wood situation is kind of rough here, and he's got lots of scouts for map control, so I think, like, he should maybe try and get his scouts over... Yeah, I think he's doing it now. He's going to get his scouts over here, and then he's going to protect the villagers. I think these villagers, or some villagers, come and head into that transport. And then Yo, maybe doing a similar thing, but he has seen quite a few scouts, so he might have a little more worry here. When I first saw the map, I did not think the transport ship would actually have benefit. I really like... It's niche, but I really like how the players use the transport on this map. I like the things that it affects. It's obviously not like a full-on hybrid map, but the outside is really important. I like the balance of this map a lot. This might be one of my favorite maps from the map pool. The TC will come up for ACCM. Castle comes up for Yo at his base. So he goes TC. Now, let's watch what Yo does with his stone, right? Because he has the castle. He has the second TC. He has the stone for even a third TC. Usually players are transferring off most of these villagers, if not all, if they're going to just go full boom. Yo leaving villagers on stone here, that is a sign that he actually believes a forward castle or just like another castle coming up early is necessary here. But if you look at them out on food for ACCM, it is much higher than it is for Yo. And that's why I focus on this, because he's even on stone. Okay, he pulled these villagers off, but it's a lot of vills on stone. Yo needs to win this, or he will be up many nights thinking of the archery range that he deleted. Viewers want Game 7. I want Game 7. Maybe the only person in the world right now that doesn't want Game 7 is ACCM. Or maybe ACCM's family. Anyone pro ACCM? ACCM on stone now. So he's going to get a castle timing, probably just to defend himself. I love the extra layers of palisades. I love the castles here. Or not the castle's here. The house is here. T90, do players and casters sleep in the castle at Red Bull events? Or is it just the games and you guys go to the hotels afterwards? Do we sleep in the castle? Well, I haven't been told what's happening this time, so maybe they need to tell me to bring a sleeping bag. But no, we've always stayed in hotels. I would be super down to sleep in the castle. But what if, like, they do tours in different areas of the castle? So what if, like, this family's doing a tour and then they just see me curled up in a corner in a sleeping bag? I think that might scar a couple families, might spook a couple people. Because at the Heidelberg Castle, they would, like, do this tour on the outer area of the castle, and there was a window looking into the area where the casters would chill and the players would chill in between games. And I kind of felt like I was in, like, a zoo, because they were, like, looking down on us. Like, what's going on in there? Vilkout's close. Camel archers are just a problem, and I don't know what to suggest. I do not know what to suggest to make. I think you just go full stable units and YOLO it. But, like, I don't know. I probably shouldn't be sitting here saying I would have preferred Spanish, but I think with Spanish, you have conks. Conks can always give you... You can almost guarantee you're going to get to your castle up, which is rare to say with Spanish. Conks could give you some real fighting power. Berbers. So tough to stop. And Yo knows this. Yo is aware of this. He knows that he can't be stopped with his army right now. And so he is aware of this TC. And he's going to bring villas. He's going to castle drop this. That is a villager that got stuck on the tree. That doesn't help matters for ACCM. And ACCM will build his castle back here. Okay. So ACCM also trying to kill a monk. May have gotten him. I don't see him anywhere. But he loses some of his Lycav. His TC's in trouble. Over here, Yo just builds another TC. And yeah, Yo's in a great spot right now. Oh, and the monk also doesn't drop off the relic. Yo is gonna... He's in a great position to take us to game number 7. And again, what do I suggest for ACCM here? I mean, Yo looks so comfortable. You could go Imp, or you go full crazy Cav army in Castle Age. You could go for the Slatcha privilege, so you have the cheap knights and just spam the crap out of knights, or you try and go Imp for Trebs. ACCM has collected 1,000 more resources. He picked Poles for the boom. He didn't pick Poles for the options. No one picks Poles for the options. And he's on his way to Imp. Yo is thinking about this. And this is, like, really smart. He's like, I'm just going to stonewall this whole thing. I don't want to be raided by crazy Polish Cav. And the walls may be delayed or may not go up at all because ACCM's got a Cav there. But ACCM will have Trebs. He doesn't have a lot on gold right now, but he can fix that. He's defended from the Camel Archers. He's dropping stables. I think ACCM actually has a chance. The more I think about this. If he could avoid taking losses with his economy and spam pure Hussar. Hussars with the unique tech are really strong. I think that's maybe better than going Knights. Ooh, Yo. He's not going to let this tower stop him from breaking through. Panic University from ACCM. He's like, quick, I need to be educated. And it actually bought him a little bit of time. The Mangonel is here, and Yo doesn't want to lose his Camel Archers. So backs away. Okay, there's Slatcha privilege. Knights will be... cost 60% less gold. He still has gold. He's got plenty of farm space. Yo, 2 minutes away from Imp. Yo, Stonewalls will be completed. Needs to make sure he locks the gate then. What would be so sick right now for ACCM is if he, like, builds a dock and a transport and gets Vills here. But I think Yo ACCM's not going to do that, and I think Yo would maybe spot it as well, but it would be really important to have some vills here so you could harass this area, because Yo is going to build up everything and treat this as if it's safe. Always. He's not going to fortify this. He's going to fortify everything else. And I think he's going to accept that he's going to lose this castle too. And probably just go camel. Like, I think camel archer's great, but I think you just go for cheap camels in combination with the cav archers here. Or the camel archers, rather. Ooh, Yo's going to transport some of these units around, which is smart. I like that. Yo actually added that dock, remember? Because he didn't have a transport over there originally. He's going to quickly try and snag that relic. And now Yo can take a peek at what's being made in here. Which is nice, because he hasn't really had any strong indicators. He'll see the castle. He also sees the knight now. So, you know, he could have been debating between knights or hussars, basically. Also, it's possible that Poles could go arbalest. And is Yo sending everything around? Wow. Okay, so Yo's bringing 13 camel archers around. And he's going to get into this eco. And honestly, ACCM wasn't really prepared to deal with this. And he also was treating this economy as if it was safe. And now he has to engage with the Cavalier. Now ACCM has to drop a tower he didn't want to drop. I do think the Cavalier will kill this, but the issue with Poles is they don't get the final armor, remember. So their Cav melt. It's just super cheap. And you can afford a lot of them with the amazing eco. This castle for Yo, he's not even trying to save. That will get Treb down. But he's microing the camel archers, and he's giving himself time. And then back at home, he's going to have 2 more castles producing camel archers. Camel archer is just so good here against the Poles. These camel archers, 14 kills. So check this out. New capture age feature. It actually keeps the stats from the camel archer that died. And it shows that it died in the group. This wasn't like just yesterday. This is like a couple weeks ago. We had talked about this prior to Hidden Cup. I wasn't sure what their plans were with it. But now we'll know what all the camel archers accomplished together, even though a couple of them have died here. And it's going to come out to around 20-some kills. And they're going to die. But 22 Cavalier kills is crazy. But he did lose 13 camel archers, so I don't know. I still think Yo needs to go for heavy camel. I'm a little surprised he hasn't. Because, like, yes, camel archer's really shrunk, but I think a combination is possible with his resources. I think he'll maybe do it once he maxes out on camel archer upgrades. And here comes, look at this. ACCM's like, I'm going to raid him. He's so exposed over here. Oh, no, he's walled. It's crazy. Those walls are such a simple thing to do, but such an important thing to do. I don't know if Berbers get fortified wall, but maybe even that's worth it. Yo is building a castle back here, expecting to be raided. Has crazy resources if he wants to go for upgrades and go for heavy camel. I don't know, man. The Cavalier might be cheap, but they just seem to be slaughtered so easily by the camel archers. And that means Game 7 incoming, right? I mean, it feels scripted here. Nah, those Cavalier won't even make it through the palisade wall. They won't even make it through the palisade wall. Not even through the palisade. Nope. Yo repairs the palisade. No more stone income for Yo. He's going to get relic number 5. Here's some Trebs from ACCM. Okay, this is his window. Because the heavy camels aren't out yet. If it's camel archer and heavy camel, he's obviously dead. So he's got the Trebs prepared. I think he's sending petards to the stone wall on the other side right now. That petard got sniped. There's other ones coming over. He wants to break through that wall. Yo has a bombard cannon coming out of this siege workshop, which he's probably going to try and use on the Trebs. There it is. Will there be enough Cavalier available for ACCM to try and snipe that bombard cannon? And the answer is no. This is just... Listen, I don't know if it would have worked, but I think Spanish would have been a much better choice. I felt that, like, maybe he didn't expect Berbers from Yo. Oh, what happened here? Hodor. No! He clicked in. Oh, shoot. Oh, he had the gate open. Oh, but okay, he got through over here with petards anyways. Okay. All right, let's go, ACCM. Let's go. He didn't need the Hodor. He's through. His eco hasn't been touched. And he's going to instantly take this opportunity, and he's going to run in with Vils, too. This is smart. He needs to be doing this. And then what this does is, anytime you see the Camel Archers in one position, you try and hit another position. So you try and raid somewhere else. I would like to see the Hussar tech and Hussars mixed in. And then you start to spend your gold more so on, like, Arbalest. Or something, maybe. I don't know. Oh no, castle could be denied by camels. The Camel Archers are here. ACCM starting to send Cavalier elsewhere now, just like we said. He will find villagers here. He will TC this. His population is looking good. The KD is going to be brutal, though. It is just going to be horrible. Full Camel Archer, heavy camel just destroys this so freaking hard. These things could cost 0 gold. I still don't think I'd have confidence that ACCM could win here. But he's got the population lead. These Poles are like, I don't know, the Goths with stables? I don't know if that's a fair comparison. Fortified wall now for Yo, just so what just happened won't happen again. His army count's ridiculous. And the Cavalier continue to get shredded by these Camel Archers with 12 attack. The heavy camels with all the bonus damage. They're not even fully upgraded. Yo does have 40 Cavalier from ACCM out on the field to deal with, though. And okay, ACCM gets through. Except Goth Infantry gets full upgrades. No, they don't. They also lack the final armor. So there is some parallel. The difference is Goth Infantry is, I think, cheaper without a tech, and it also produces way faster. So I think the production speed is a pretty big deal here. Monk just trying to drop off a relic. Won't get it, but eventually Yo will have that, and ACCM still not finished off yet. Yo has done a lot of chasing. He's done a lot of killing, but a lot of chasing. Still, though, I mean, there's still golds he can take on this area, which is still walled in. He just needs, like, a massive siege to push the castles back. Okay, there's the Lekithic Legacy tech. So that applies... That's a trample damage to the Hussars. But we don't have the Hussar techs in yet. So I think this is ACCM. He's going to still spam Cab, but he's going to spam Hussars. And he's going to go Arbalest now with his gold. I like this. Arbalest are still worse than Camel Archer, but I think this is a better use of your resources from here on out. And you feel like raiding with a unit that doesn't cost gold is better than raiding with a unit that costs gold at this stage. So, even though the Cavalier are cheap, they still cost gold. Don't want to be doing that any longer. But I think Yo is ready to push him. And the transition isn't in yet. It's going to be happening in the middle. And the pressure is just too hot, too heavy, too fast. We're going to a game 7. Oh, man. I don't know if my heart can take it. Loser today gets $3,000. Winner gets an experience of a lifetime. $9,000 if they're the worst player when they make it, which is likely not to be the case. And person who wins the main event gets like 40K or something like that. Combined with the fact that these guys put in a lot of time on the ladder qualifier and came so close and were yet so far. Poof. Castle went down. At least the Hussar tech is in, so now he's got the winged Hussars. Cue the Sabaton music. But the archer ranges that are supposed to be supporting the production of Arbalest are just going down. Yo cannot lose this game. Will both of them qualify? No, no, no. Loser here is out and cannot qualify. There's no more chances. Loser of this series. And then we have one more series afterwards where the same thing happens. More ranges in the back now. It's like my resources are decent. Maybe I could do it. Yo going town patrol for extra vision. Why not? He doesn't need resources for anything else. He's fully popped. This is an army that you just cannot stop right now. What civilization can stop this? Maybe like Celts with Halb Siege Onager, right? But good luck getting there. Yo played it perfectly the whole way through, despite the disaster in the previous game. And he's going to win this fight. ACCM will be forced to tap. And we're going to a Game 7, my friends. Game 7, where I expect this Civ matchup to be close. I don't think that's going to be a conversation. It's also on the same map that ACCM won against Doubt in the final game in their series yesterday. So he will have been in that position before, the deciding game. And he played like a beast. Most ACCM thing ever. He's 6,000 score behind. I think I added an extra C in there. But he still hasn't called it. I don't know how. I don't know why. Okay. He's still fighting. He sold stone for a little bit of more gold so he can make a Treb from the castle he's not going to have anymore. Oh, wait. Maybe it's over here. Okay, he made a Treb over here. Population 120. 6,500 score behind. Still believes. Still believes. Still believes. I think he can do it, guys. I think he can do it. As long as he believes. I think he can do ACCM! This is hilarious, dude. Even for ACCM, this is pretty wild. He's like, my Hussar! Oh no! My Hussar that was raiding goes down. Oh, okay, we must call it now. Wow. I mean, listen, I'm not going to break this one down too much more because we have to dive into prepping for the Game 7. I just didn't like polls. I don't think polls gave you a fighting chance against Berbers. I thought it was obvious Yo would go Berbers. ACCM probably, I mean, he certainly played more practice games than me. He's more prepared than me. You know, he's better than me. So there might have been some experiences that he had that could have influenced his decision here. But against Yo and how this map plays out, I just really felt like it was going to be a walk in the park for Yo, at least compared to some of the other games that he's had to fight in this series. So it's going to go down to game number 7. And again, we've said the stakes. We'll probably repeat the stakes, but this is huge. All right. Game 7. $6,000 minimum game, basically, right? If you think about the stakes here. The difference between staying home and going to Spain. It comes down to this. We got ACCM. Now, he's scared of the potential man-at-arm opening of the Bulgarians here. Bulgarian's an interesting pick, so he opens range. And he will guess correctly. It is man-at-arms opening from Yo. Yo's barrack spawn was also super out of the base. You do start with that. And tough thing for Huns would be defending from this because you cannot house wall, but ACCM locked in. Now, they took like a 5-minute break, maybe more in between these games. So I think they both might maybe wanted that smoke break that they're so known for, just to relax. Behind this, we don't actually have a follow-up building yet for Yo. There's the range now, but he didn't build it immediately. And he's kind of looked for damage in different areas. It's a bit uncommon. You normally group up the man-at-arms in a bunch of different... in one spot, sorry. He goes for armor, he goes for forging, and ACCM so far hasn't lost anything. Here he defends himself. Here he's trying to defend himself. Yo almost loses the man-at-arm to the TC, so... You know, in some ways, obviously, very good opening here for ACCM, not to have lost anything. But he also isn't in a position to damage Yo yet, which is good for Yo. And Yo... Oh! Tries to get the weak villain. ACCM saves it. Nice job there. Yo, no eco upgrades, guys. No eco upgrades. No double bid X. Probably because going for these man-at-arms and the armor this early is expensive. ACCM had left his scout here to catch out reinforcements and forgot about it. Just because of the pressure, he will lose the scout. That could have been a skirm kill. Yo probably would have noticed, but the pressure is on here. Still 3 men-at-arms on the field for Yo. One's very weak. It's going to be men-at-arms. It's going to be skirms. It's going to be scouts. It's going to be archers. And then a tower here for ACCM. He's dealt pretty well with all of this. And I like the tower. You can just simply pull these villagers from this lumber camp over to this one now. And actually, it feels like the perfect moment to consider an archer counterattack. Yo is nothing at home. Yo is actually researching Town Watch. I love that. Think of the moment of it too, right? He's like, okay, he could counterattack me now because he's defended with the tower. Let's have that extra vision just in case. And he even sent his military back here, so he was prepared for the possibility. In many ways, I love the opening for both. Yo has bought himself a lot of time, but, you know, ACCM, probably not too far away. Not too far away from getting enough scouts and archers to clear this up. If the micro is proper. Just imagine, man. One bad fight, and you lose the trip to Spain and the main event. It's crazy. ACCM trying to save what's left of his archers. He's microed very nicely here, and he is going to lose a couple, but he clears it up. And now this is where you fall into a tough spot as Yo, because your man-at-arms did not kill any villagers. Your follow-up attack didn't do too much either. You've lost 12 units. You have to make more skirms. You have to make more spears, and you probably need a tower as well. This is going to be tough for Yo. He does have the army to still kill everything that's out here, but look at how ACCM is approaching this. ACCM has stopped scout production. He's using his market a bit. He's going to try and go Castle Age, which, from my perspective, is a really nice understanding of the game. To understand that, okay, Yo needs to invest a bit more army-wise to defend for me now. If I can reach Castle Age faster, that can be my advantage. And that's what his focus will be. He's on his way forward now. Yo is kind of waiting for him. He doesn't have a scout, so he's just like, where is he? Keeping an eye on things. And ACCM comes in at a pretty good time. Just snipes the spearman. But, dude, this is great for ACCM. This is amazing for ACCM. Like, especially because where is he going to pull Yo's army? He's going to pull it to the north, away from his own base. So this gives ACCM so much time and freedom to make decisions. And if these villagers aren't protected by army, they will just die. Like, they can't make it back home here. And Yo, a villager exposed! Villager down. ACCM is playing this map with the same confidence and precision that he played Game 5 against Doubt yesterday. He's so good on this map. I think this is his best map. His aggression's great. His Castle Age times are great. His micro's insane. And it's the same combination of units, like Cav and Archer. Plays against Yo's strengths. No unique units for Yo. That's a problem for Yo. Yo trying to defend here. It's okay as long as he doesn't leave any archers around. Okay, so that's actually okay. Could have been worse. Really good for ACCM still. Yo lost 2 villagers. 3 ranges at home for ACCM. He's Huns. Look at his resources. Holy. So I think we know that the plan's going to be Cav archers here for ACCM. And Yo's going to go full knights. Full knights, 50 seconds later to Castle Age. The opponent's going to have Cav archer numbers on him before he even has a knight out. This is problematic for Yo. ACCM's going to boom as well. This is really problematic for Yo. The only thing I'll say is the gold's not protected. The gold will probably be protected by army, but, you know, the gold needs to be protected. If the gold's protected, and this is so sick, it's like, how is he able to think about this so clearly? If the gold's protected, you then have a wood TC, your food's fine next to the TC, and then your Cav archers are running everywhere. And there's a tower here too. So everything's just kind of fine, provided the gold can't be raided. Yo, has the cheaper and faster researching blacksmith upgrades. So that's what he'll hope to rely on here. Immediately being able to afford +2 armor is simply because he's Bulgarians. But can he make enough knights to deal with the Hun cav archers? I don't know. Would love to see a monastery as well for ACCM, potentially. Probably ballistics makes a lot more sense just to protect your... just to, you know, make your cav archers a bit stronger in general, both in attack and defense, but... Yo, we'll drop a TC on the outside. He's brought his army here to hold. He will be fine here. It's awkward, but he will be fine. The cav archers and the knights here, though, a problem. Another Vil kill for ACCM. He runs away here, realizes he's been spotted by +2 knights. He comes over here. We'll notice the TC and has to get away as well. So building up towards that big mass now, I think, ACCM. He's going to go... Now is when you just have that big ball right towards the middle. And he was able to lure Yo right back to a new group of cav archers. 14 cav archers for him right now. And guys, his eco is flying. His eco is flying. He's got a 10 villager lead. ACCM is growing in his lead right now. Can ACCM do it? He won 3-2 against Stout yesterday. He could beat Yo 4-3 here if he keeps this up. Like, this is not getting better for Yo right now. He hasn't got any counter damage in. He needs counter damage of some kind. He's going to try here. ACCM notices it. He doesn't notice the Vils here, so that's 2 Vil kills. At the same time, some army went down there for Yo. Monastery up for ACCM so he can have monks around. The cav archers and knights still forcing reactions from Yo. Lots of idle time for Yo. But he's also up to 8 knights. 8 knights is pretty decent. You get up to like 15, maybe with some siege. That's where things can start to change a little bit. But the TC was in a perfect spot for defense. Over here, Yo picks off the leftover scouts from ACCM as ACCM's cav archers are lurking on this side. It definitely feels like if ballistics can come in, Yo is in big trouble. I think Yo needs a siege workshop. And he needs scorpions, hoping to get some hits here on the cav archers right now. Gonna try his best to run home with those weak knights. ACCM is just flying, dude. There's a reason you pick the Huns, right? You could focus so much on the aggression, all their bonuses are suited for it. Whether it's the cheaper cav archers, the faster producing stables. On a map that's already open and no one can really wall up, Huns are great, because usually that could be a weakness for Huns on more closed maps. Yo was able to save some of his weak knights to heal up, so there is that, but it's now 25 cav archers against 11 knights. And it will soon be 30 cav archers. And we might even see a forward castle from ACCM. He's now even getting ballistics. 2,000 more resources for ACCM, who has played out of his mind. He has had killer instinct today in the critical moments. Remember, that Koreans-Romans game? He probably should have won that one. That should have been his game. We shouldn't even be here. But Yo was able to have a crazy comeback. ACCM's like, oh, okay. So you've got a bunch of weak knights in there? What do? You trying to heal them up? I'll sit underneath your tower. This is actually amazing. There's not many players that would sit underneath this tower, and it's actually perfect, because the knights can't be healed now. Yo can't take gold. Yo is nothing on gold. This is the end. This is the end. There's a raid here. If ACCM garrisons his TCs and notices this, this is it for Yo. He will lose those knights. Yo won't resign right now. Absolutely not. But he has no gold. He has no army. He can't do anything. ACCM's flying. Farming eco. Flying. Siege workshop. To help push the front. I don't know what Yo can do from here. 6 knights. Now adding the siege workshop. A TC to protect the gold's good. These knights will probably be killed. Remember, ballistics is in. Actually, could be a pretty sick trap as well, if ACCM's aware. The economy's just not good enough for Yo. He's trying to get away. No, it's a trap. It's a trap. Oh, no. Oh, God. I think they lagged. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not sure who it's a trap for now. But ACCM will probably kill that. ACCM seeing some leftover skirms, and he's like, where is Yo's army right now? That's a good question. Yo's got one knight, one scorpion, and a dream that is very quickly becoming a nightmare. ACCM, you toppled off Doubt in the previous rounds. How about you finish this series, finish this game in a way that your buddy Doubt would be proud? You've got the stone for it. You have the army control. You don't need it, but you want it. All right? I know you do. Here we go. Look at that castle. That castle will send ACCM to Red Bull if it goes up. He's still got the army back here. It could possibly be a little risky if Yo has siege or if Yo has army around. ACCM gets a conversion there. He's bringing the vills. He's bringing the siege. He's bringing enough villagers to complete this. Yo is still trying to deal with the cav archers back here, guys. Yo will see this. Yo has to stop it. I don't think he can stop it. He can't stop this castle. If that castle goes up, it gives access to more stone. It denies all of Yo's gold in 2 different areas. The only other gold is really over here, which I guess he is on. This castle goes up. Yo continues to struggle. It's just crazy. I mean, when we found out only 8 players in the main event, 4 players through a ladder qualifier, 2 invited, and then 2 through an actual last chance qualifier, we knew there would be heartbreak. I didn't know who was going to be the player that would be, or the players that would be the ones that were upset or heartbroken by the system. You know, big surprises, the big shock. This is it right here. Maybe there's another one later. But Yo was like in that top 4 on the ladder for weeks. He lost it in like the last couple days of the ladder qualifier. He was ahead in this series, and ACCM just kept coming at him today. I don't see a win condition for Yo. I just don't. Everything's just getting worse. The TC will go down. He can try skirms, but like skirms keeps him in this game a little bit longer. ACCM's in a position where he could find a counter to skirms pretty quickly, I'd say. ACCM did run out of gold here, but he's got gold everywhere else. And ACCM about to go up to Imp with a forward castle. And he can easily place more forward castles. And cav archers will loop around this way. This continues to deny Yo's gold. Yo, 0 gold income right now. Making skirms on the back. And he's probably just like, please, 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 please. Like, can I find an answer here? Can I somehow change this? Please don't let this be. ACCM's not really giving him the opportunities, is he? He's always defending with the little counter raids that come in. And he's continually pressuring Yo, and he's on his way to Imp. So yeah, from here, oh, another castle from ACCM. Look at the micro from ACCM. From here, it feels to me like ACCM could probably just stay on cav archers and upgrade them and win the game. He also could make a switch. His eco is really good, so he could drop stables and go for the counter to skirms. Why no Krepos? Well, Krepos do nothing but keep you alive longer. They do nothing to win the game for you. And, you know, protecting your eco isn't what you need at this point. There's a Krepos, actually. But could never build the Krepos to defend the TC. The TC's still in jeopardy. More ranges here. ACCM, 2 minutes away from him. Poor Yo. Oh my god, what? Hold on. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. That was a little spooky. ACCM, just chill, bro. Honestly, just sit inside your castles for a second. That could have been worse. could have lost all of his Cav archers there. Yo about to click up to Imp. Yo will click up to Imp with the Northern TC, so it's likely he will make it to Imp. But how much eco will he have left when he gets there? ACCM will have the resources to get Cav Archer upgrades. The skirms will die to the Cav Archers. Even now they would, but especially once Imp upgrades come in. Split doesn't exactly pan out for ACCM, but the next one does, kind of. And Yo is off of gold again. The TC won't complete. ACCM's an Imp. I mean, if this is game one, it's a GG call, even for Yo. And he says, GG, have fun in Spain. Yo is out. He will not be there in Spain. But ACCM will join the ranks. ACCM with a crazy performance. And like I said, if you look back through some of these games, ACCM could have maybe won some of those earlier games as well. It was just Yo masterclass to come back in that Romans versus Koreans game. I loved ACCM's performance today. The way he opened up the series, how aggressive he was game number one was so like kind of unexpected. I don't think Yo expected the double range Persian archer skirm. And this is the ACCM that people advertise. His training has apparently been top tier, preparing for this, and he, of course, would have been bummed to not have had that chance with the ladder or not, have made it in the top 4 in the ladder. But the last chance qualifier works out for him. I am pumped for ACCM. I know this is big for him. He's a huge competitor, and I can't wait to see him in Spain. Usually, losing out on Yo, not seeing Yo in Spain, obviously a big heartbreak, but hey, the heartbreak comes because, like great competition, the best games happen when there's more on the line, and that's exactly what this was. So, ACCM wins 4-3. This game, honestly, I would break it down to say Yo's man-at-arms didn't accomplish what he would have wanted, and the follow-up army just got cleaned up so nicely from ACCM. ACCM defended from that and made it look oh so easy. Maybe Yo needed to group up his man-at-arms together. He kind of like split them up a little bit. Maybe 3 together with his starting scout could have accomplished more. But also, if you want to overwhelm the opponent and you have those upgrades, maybe splitting up, like he was thinking hitting in multiple spots would be the best thing for him. But yeah, just didn't find the damage. And then by the time he looped around with the next army, immediately we had Yo ACCM rather swooping in and killing that army. And then yeah, Huns are Huns at that point. They're flying. Really good recognition from ACCM as well after clearing this up that he just needed to go Castle Age. I think a lot of people were like, ooh, we doubled down on army now in feudal, and then Yo could maybe hit defended from that. So yeah, great series. Congrats to ACCM. And he'll be in Spain.